Fuck, I'm all fired up now, guys. I'm ready to pod. I'm all fired up. All right.
Firecast. That's what this is.
Firecast. We can't use it. There's actually a Firecast. It's actually really damn good.
Oh my gosh, it's like Fire Festival, but podcast.
Fire Podcast Festival.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Good Friends, Good Games. It is, what are we at? April 15th. I'm all fired up. So if you are you listening to this in the podcast world right now, or you're watching this on YouTube, we got fired up with some covers of like 80s hit movies. And then we also had a Fire Mega Man 2 cover, the Dr. Wily stage. So the crew here is all fired up and ready to go. We got energy. I was telling him in chat, I'm ready to smash shit.
You know what I'm ready for?
Smash Bros.
What are you ready for?
To take my vitamins and my meds.
Ah.
Okay. Have you seen that? I don't know what it was. It was like some meme TikTok or something where it's like this video of this guy dancing in a club. It's like in your 20s when you found a random pill on the floor in the bathroom and you took it to see what it does. And it's like me in my 30s checking to see if 2 melatonin is safe.
First, excuse me. This is vitamins. Vitamins. You can see right here.
It's
As a
vitamin
matter of
candy.
fact, it says gummies for homies or gummies for the homies. Pour one out for your homies while you eat some vitamins.
I can vouch. I have some as well.
I do not have gummies. I don't have vitamin gummies. Actually, I don't have any vitamins, period. I should probably go buy some. I do have melatonins that are gummies.
Mm-hmm.
And they're shaped like little bunches of berries like you got. So, you know what, Everest? You're not allowed to judge our means
if you
of
want to
taking
judge
vitamins.
us, you should have come on, but you're sick.
If they taste good, they're not vitamins.
Oh,
Is that accurate?
No.
You leave me and my Flintstones fucking vitamins alone.
Wait, are they? No, they're not actual Flintstone ones. Do they still make
go
those?
fuck yourself. Let me enjoy this.
Yabba dabba go. Yabba dabba fuck you. Oh, what are they? Do they still make the Flintstone vitamins?
Who knows?
I haven't seen them. I'll have to check.
Now it'd be, dude. If I can go to Costco and just get a gigantic case of Flintstone vitamins, I will do it.
Yeah, you just walk out of the store, you're just like, Flintstones!
I say we ship them to Everest.
Ah, yes. Make them feel better.
Oh,
Okay.
Everest will love that.
I need answers. I cannot do the rest of this pod without knowing.
Uh-oh.
Flintstones vitamins.
I'll just call Fred.
It is still a thing. Bayer, who makes, vitamins and other pharmaceuticals, they are still paying for the Flintstones license to put it on vitamins.
Oh.
Let's see here. They have trusted by partners for over 50 years.
Damn, that's old.
They got some options now, though, guys. They've got Flintstone Complete, immunity support, and they got a sour.
Ooh.
They got a sour version.
Sour
Wait,
vitamins.
whoa.
Ooh,
Okay, these guys
hold on
really
now.
know what their demographic is. Flintstones elderberry gummies.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not for old people. It's just a different form of gum.
But-
I thought it was for people in my age.
If it's for old people, then you can say that then you can legitimately say that your grandfather smells like elderberries
Yep.
from Monty Python.
Oh, that's legit. Okay.
There you go. Thank you, Dill. Fucking got him.
Yeah, that's how you get any British person. Just bring up Monty Python and they immediately will laugh. Your mother's.
Okay, so explain to us, Dill, for our younger audience out there that does not know what Monty Python is.
So Monty Python was like it was a comedy. It was a kind of a comedy series and like a movie series that was like 60s, 70s and stuff, which basically featured wacky skits, characters, all that kind of stuff. I think the most infamous one that I can think of is the Holy Grail, which famously did the budget for that movie was incredibly low, and they ran out of money towards the end.
That's a feature.
Which is why,
That's a feature.
Yeah, that is the feature that they had such a low budget that they literally was just like, let's just make this the feature, and then they literally had no money left at the end, which is why that there was that scene at the end. Spoiler alert, by the way, where they all get arrested.
Yeah, their permit ran out and they all got arrested.
Yeah.
So it's akin to like the American variant would probably. I would guess the American variant would be like Saturday Night Live for the most part.
I feel like Saturday Night Live probably got the idea from Monty Python. Honestly,
yeah, I would say that's a fair assessment.
Yeah,
is Monty Python like? Yes, they have like movies, like they have Holy Grail, Life of Brian, Meaning of Life, and then others. But they also had like but they also like had like their own like little shows and skits that were also like really, really funny. And so you can definitely tell that like SNL is inspired by it. But Monty Python back in the day, they did something special with what they did.
They did.
Can you get you can get Monty Python on like your Amazon Primes and all that kind of stuff now, right? Okay, cool.
Probably,
probably. Holy Grail and The Life of Brian. Like,
okay,
I just
excellent.
watched Life of Brian like 3 weeks ago.
I always
He's
get
not the Messiah.
like iffy. Yeah, I always get iffy about like recommending.
He's the Messiah.
He is not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy.
I always get like iffy about recommending like old stuff like that because you don't even know if it's like on a streaming service or whatever these days. Like who knows where that stuff ends up? But what's another good? So there's Monty Python. Another good one for a lot of younger people that may not know. Anything by Mel Brooks. So like your Blazing Saddles, your Young Frankenstein. Spaceballs is probably his most popular work because that's literally a spoof of Star Wars.
Okay, I've actually never seen Spaceballs fully.
Really?
I've only seen clips because obviously the clips is so like it's the key clip moments that I've seen. Like which I feel like even though I haven't seen the movie, it has one of the greatest fourth wall breaks in any movie to ever exist, in my personal opinion.
Where they like tap the screen, he like walks in.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of my favorite lines out of that whole Spaceballs movie is like when they're in the like they're out like supposed to be Tatooine and they're like he's like comb the desert and they're out there with a big gigantic like soul pick combing the desert and then he's like you guys find anything and the guy's like we ain't found shit. We ain't found shit.
Also the major arsehole
yeah
scene.
Major assholes. Yeah, it's that guy was on something back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I was working I was doing server maintenance with my company and we were talking about like these generational comedies, you know, like you have your 90s, your 2000s and you're like your 2010s and I laid it flat out and you guys can agree with me or disagree or bring up your opinions, but I think the trifecta of 2000 the trifecta of 2000 is literally Superbad, Wedding Crashers, and Dodgeball.
Okay, the only one I've seen out of all of them is Dodgeball.
You need to watch Wedding Crashers and you need to see.
Yeah.
I mean, Superbad, it's like a toss-up between that and 40-Year-Old Virgin. I tend to enjoy
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Like, I enjoy that
I have
movie
watched
more.
that. That one was all right.
Because I think that's what inspired Superbad.
They're all made by like the same
guy.
Group and guys at the time. Okay, 40-Year-Old Virgin is a tough one because yes, it's comedic genius, but I feel like it's one of those things where is if you hate Steve Carell, which I don't know why you would, but I'm sure there's somebody out there that does not like Steve Carell. If you don't like Steve Carell, you're not gonna like 40-Year-Old Virgin.
No, you're not.
Where I think Superbad has this this group of two friends, but then it has several side characters that literally like keep that movie afloat if you didn't like one of them. So that's the other thing. And then Wedding Crashers is the same way. If you hate Owen Wilson, you're going to love Vince Vaughn. You know, it's like one or the other that saves it. Yeah. And then Dodgeball was just this wild mix of
Dodgeball was insane.
You know, like it that just literally threw random shit out of there. And then you have like your 90s stuff, which of course would be like a toss up between like your 90s trifecta would maybe be a tie between Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore was hilarious. Happy Gilmore was funny. Yeah.
And then Dill, you saw this the first time when you actually stayed at my place. The other one would be Wayne's World.
Yeah, I remember. I finally did watch that. Yeah, that was fun.
So for those that don't know, Dill on stream had a stream alert. I forget whatever it was for. There's a stream alert, but it's literally Wayne holding up the Pizza Hut like pizza box thing, and I showed him the movie, and he found the part where they took that clip.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably my favorite scene in the
shameless movie. corporate pushing or whatever it is. And then what was the third one I said? So like the other third one is tough because it probably might be, I would say Austin Powers maybe.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Austin Powers. Yeah.
It's tough, dude. Like when you think about like how many good movies came out in those eras in terms of comedy and stuff like that, it's hard to pick them.
Yeah.
Like now, I don't think there's enough good comedies coming out.
Ventura.
See that? I forgot about Ace Ventura, dude.
The Mask.
The Mask, yes. The Mask, yeah. Ace Ventura, a little bit like controversial, that one, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to argue because, like, I for sure Adam Sandler is in the 90s trifecta. Like, he's in that top 3 90s. You're either picking Happy Gilmore or...
Yeah, his whole career was the 90s one to like 90s movies.
Yeah, you're either picking Happy Gilmore or Billy Madison. I feel like Happy Gilmore is a better movie. It's better written. It's more
I like cohesive. Happy Gilmore more.
Yeah. But they're both damn good. He got fired from Saturday Night Live, and then he went
he did
all these movies. And he's like, and now he's just this humble dude.
He just does random shit every now and then goes back to wherever he lives.
Yeah, somewhere down the line, he said he makes like all these random comedies for Netflix and stuff that aren't necessarily good, but like they keep his friends employed. Like, how do you argue with that? You know?
Yeah, and every once in a while he creates an absolute freaking banger, and then like goes back to making all these weird movies.
And he's obviously an actually incredibly talented actor, because if you haven't seen Uncut Gems, go watch Uncut Gems, and you'll actually see his like acting ability full hand.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, look what I can do. I'm this good actor. But then he's like, nah, I just want to meme.
Yeah.
He's basically, the way I describe it, he's the Nicolas Cage of comedy movies. Like that's the way I would describe him.
Speaking of Nicolas Cage, Pal and I just watched National Treasure.
Oh, you watched it finally?
Yeah, I've seen it in and out. Like I've seen it, and like I've probably seen the whole movie if you add all the parts I've seen together. But
same for me with Spaceballs.
What the hell, dude? How did this guy manage to just smuggle the Declaration of Independence out of Independence Hall?
Nick Cage, man. Yeah. He's been Ghost Rider. He's been like a cocaine detective. He's been like an arms dealer. He's been a face-off.
Now he's an internet meme with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen that movie yet. The Nick Cage movie about Nick Cage. I've not seen that one yet.
I need to take that meme of Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal, but instead Photoshop, well, just put like Dill's face as Pedro's and Eric's face as Nicolas Cage, and just have the title just be like the part pushing play on the podcast.
Some people have such good ideas. Someone actually did that with like their dual monitors. Like they took the meme and split the photo up, so like each monitor has the two faces. I'm like, God damn. But
yeah,
what have you gentlemen been up to? Beefles? We all had the beefle, right?
Easter? We had Easter.
Oh my God, Easter, dude. Let me tell you about Easter.
I almost forgot it was Easter.
I completely forgot it was Easter. Pal and I made all these plans to go to Micro Center because she's going to build a PC now that the tax dollars came in. She's going to go build a PC, right? And we're like, let's go to Micro Center. Like, we're going to go get the stuff we need. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go tomorrow. And we look it up. It's closed. And I'm like, what the hell? Why would Micro Center be closed on Sunday? And it's like, closed for Easter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so all he did was rise from the dead just so I couldn't go to Micro Center.
Yep, that is exactly what Jesus did. He planned it for 2,000 years ago, and now we're suffering the consequences since.
Thanks. Did you guys do it? Did you do anything for Easter, Dale?
I had Good Friday off at least, so I mainly was grinding on Assassin's Creed Valhalla still. Haven't finished it still.
Did you get an Easter basket?
I got what, 5 Easter eggs. a bunch of chocolate bars, and I got this box of like chocolate eggs. Half of them were cream eggs, half of them were caramel eggs.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The ones I always remember from these are like the big, gigantic hollow bunnies, the chocolate ones.
Oh, I have one down here. Still have it.
That tastes just like. Someone in the chat has a hot take coming. It says, I'm going to get major hate from this one.
Oh, I still have it right here.
Oh, look at that.
Thornton's chocolate as well, which is the best kind of chocolate.
Chibi in the chat, hit us with your hot take here. You can't set us up with major hate and not drop your hot take.
Tell us now. We might judge you afterwards. Ooh.
If Jesus is on your team, make sure he doesn't die. He takes 3 days to respawn.
I mean, he's not wrong. Not wrong. GB's not wrong.
There we go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Don't put him on your team. If he dies, 3 days to respawn.
Don't put him on Apex. Don't put him on Fortnite. Don't put him on Call of Duty.
Fall Guys, none of those. You can't have him on any of them.
He'll be falling for 3 days.
My next door neighbor is a pastor, dude. I would have a field day if my neighbor was a pastor.
You must have an interesting conversation with that person.
I would just do the most random, weird stuff in my front lawn and everything just to get him questioning my life.
Now I'll put all my metal posters on the window.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Upside down crosses, all this. Like it's like the lawn.
Big weird noises.
I'll spell my real name with upside down crosses.
Just light him on fire. Just do horrible shit. This guy's gonna freak out.
Jesus.
I totally forgot it was Easter. I didn't do anything. I was fortunate the laundromat was open. I was like, oh crap! If I had known it was Easter, I would have done laundry the night before. But I went and it was open, so I was okay there. And then I went home and I literally just played Resident Evil for hours. But we'll get into that right now. Did you? Oh, I'm sorry, Zine. Did you do anything?
You forgot about Zin.
I did forget about Zine. I'm sorry.
Wow.
No, didn't do anything special. But other than that, just preparing for a couple weeks from now. Also got invited. Well, I'm having my first local Twitch meetup in like 3-4 years coming up. So fun times.
They always had one, right, in your region?
Yeah. So like I've been there about 7 times.
They did. What they do it in Ontario? Is it Ontario? They do it in
right in Toronto.
Right. Oh yeah,
so
Toronto.
I just have to go downtown.
Okay. Yeah, Toronto. Okay. I used to do the LA one a couple times a year, and then once the pandemic hit, they kind of fizzled off.
Yeah. Well, they're finally just coming back with a lot of the meetups. I mean, some of them came back sooner. It's just for ours, for our local one, it's taken a long time.
Where are they holding it at? Are they doing like the pub or?
It's basically a place called the Rec Room, and I've been there, and it is always an absolutely fantastic time because the Rec Room, it has like a place where there's like video games and like what is it
like tabletop?
Well, not tabletop, but it's got like those like arcade games.
Okay.
Because like the last time that I went there, like they had at this one place that it had like computers like in the back where you could actually like just play like test out games. Like some developers were like, "Hey, I want you to test this out.
Oh, neat.
This game out." So like it's really really cool. But now they're not having it there because that place is actually shut down like over during the pandemic. So right now we're going to a place that I personally think is even cooler. It's just you're not going to have like PCs in the back, but there'll be lots of things to do, and I might have a couple drinks. I deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's don't forget to put the camera on and catch your antics.
Yeah. Actually, you can't stream there. That's the only thing.
No one said anything about streaming. We just
there'll be pictures.
Yeah, we'll just put the video up here on the pod when we're watching. Technically, it didn't happen during the event. So, well, that's cool. Everest is in here saying her uncle is a bishop, her uncle is a pastor, and her cousin's husband also pastor. Now I feel terrible.
Why so many pastors though?
It's the family business kind of thing,
Well, yeah, like definitely like I think on my dad's side, my grandmother, like a lot of her friends, like they're all like run their own like church organizations, and like goes down in their families.
Oh, Ever says she's a heathen, so she's okay.
Wow. I mean, technically, my family's not been religious since my great grandmother, so
yeah, I was raised in a highly religious family, like Catholic, old school Hispanic Catholic, and then as I got older, this is a whole different pod for a different conversation, but basically what it boils down to is like I have no problems with faith and belief and all that kind of stuff. I do have problems with organizing those faiths and those beliefs. That's the part I have a problem with, to lay it out short. But all right, let's see here. On to more, I guess, fun and probably the same debatable topics. Let's see here. All right. Zenith.
Yes.
You really like them sexy vampires.
I've been playing a lot. I've been playing with Morgan, and we've been winning a lot more.
Hey, so you're squadding up, and your squad's getting strong, huh?
I'm getting pretty good. I think I was telling Dill that we had a stretch of where we played 4 games and we won 3 of them, and the one that we didn't win, we actually came like second. We were right there. And what I like about this game is that like it's you don't need the best aim to actually win. So because like as long as you like you chart your path, and because like you need to like feed off of mortals to increase your abilities and like lower like the cooldowns for to be able to use your abilities. And if you just find the right weapons and utilize it, as well as like use actual strategy, because as long as I'm like making sure that I'm not seen or I'm moving, and people have a really hard time tracking me, and if I can get like the jump on them, a lot of times I can go into just about any kind of firefight and end up winning. Especially once you find the katana, where you just deflect bullets at people like it's the Matrix.
Is the player base for this game growing?
It's at a weird spot, because I ended up getting started because my friend, her name is Laura Kim, and she said, "Hey, do you want to join a tournament?" Because I was in the middle of holding a Mario Party tournament, so I tried it and actually really enjoyed the game. She said that the player base is in like a weird spot where the people that like it really, really like it, but it's hard to get the word out there because, this is based off a game that was popular like in the 90s.
Right.
And people are waiting for like an actual sequel or remaster of that game.
Oh, I get it.
And anyone that says, the Vampire Masquerade, okay, that's out. And then when they realize it's the Battle Royale, that actually turns them off, when the Battle Royale is actually like really good.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll get on this, because Pal's also getting the PC too. So maybe we can get a 4-way game going here. How big how big can your squad be?
Oh, 3.
3? Okay. We can make this work.
Then again, I've also done things where we had 4 people and we just split up in 2 games, and then depending on what hours of the day, sometimes you get to like I played a solo game with Morgan, and she was running away from someone being shot at, but then I finished her off and she had no idea that it was me that was sucking her blood. And then she realized, and she was very mad.
Oof. I'm gonna jump in on this. Okay. I'll make this a list, or add this to my list and get this download. In the chat here, Morgan says you can have solos, duos, and trios. Trios being the max. Okay. Accidentally, vampires don't die from a single hand shot. Okay. I'm gonna play. We're gonna do this. So you have a lot of also on top of this, you have a lot of random mismatch.
Yeah, so because I didn't really have a lot to talk about what I've been playing, but like I don't really talk too much about what I've been playing on stream. So I mean, aside from usual randomizers, a few things stood out. I tried a Zelda Oracle of Ages entrance randomizer. Have you ever played it?
I've never played the randomizer. I don't even.
No, Oracle of Ages.
That is one of the ones I have not played. I just finally got copies from my dealer not too long ago, so I'm excited to try them.
So Oracle of Ages is a game that takes between two time periods. So you actually get to teleport between past and present.
Ooh.
So, it's actually a lot of fun. And you have to use traveling through time as puzzles to like maneuver around the world. But the thing is, though, when you have entrance shuffle, you go into a shop, then you have like a long cave of bats you have to go through, then you get to the other end, and then all of a sudden, like, you're in the past, and you're like, wait a minute. So I did not gain the ability to go back and forth between time. I had to go through certain entrances, and like I had a giant map where I had to like draw lines in MS Paint saying, okay, so this takes me to this part of the world in the present. This takes me to the past. Did those notes help? Absolutely fucking not, because it became such a confusing mess after like 8 or 9 hours that I was like, I'm so tired. I can't do it.
So technically, I always ask this about the emulate, or not the emulate, but the randomizers. So let's say, for example, like A Link to the Past, right? A Link to the Past is designed to be beatable, assuming you go in a fairly linear order. It's designed to be beatable. Like, you can't really lock yourself out of beating A Link to the Past. It's all doable.
You can never lock yourself out of it unless if you end up glitching the game to a point where you actually can't move.
Right. Whereas the randomizer itself can fuck you though, right?
Well, actually, no. Pretty much the same thing where logic will always make sure that the game is beatable, and a lot of times randomizers, like, they're very aware of what tricks and glitches. Like, when building a randomizer for Ocarina of Time, like, there's a list of tricks you can do. For example, backflipping over Mido in Lost Woods, that's on there. Being able to clip through a wall, through like a certain wall, that's on there. So the only times like where you soft lock yourself is like maybe there's one game that is soft.
That's what I was saying. It's got to be one of them has to be able to be broken.
That I believe was. Hang on. Let me. I know exactly which randomizer this is. I just need to confirm this because like it's because I have a list on my Discord of which randomizers I did or didn't do. Link's Awakening. I was playing a Link's Awakening randomizer. We were one instrument from beating the game, and all the instruments that you get at which you get at the end of beating each dungeon are shuffled anywhere. Like, you can actually go to the store and buy it.
The claw machine too, right? Like, you could get one of the instruments in the claw machine, possibly.
Thankfully, nothing in the claw machine is randomized, but it could be if it wanted to.
Okay, I was gonna say that would have been legit. You get all of them in a claw machine.
So this is just like a flaw of the game and the randomizer itself is that I was very close to beating it, but it turns out I used the key on the wrong door, which did not lead me to my final instrument, so I couldn't finish it. So that stuff happens, but you won't see that for like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, because like keys are actually put in place where like even if you don't know where you're going or if you're going the wrong way, like the game will still get you a key in order for you to open up the rest of the doors in the dungeon to get what you need.
I'm gonna try. It's on my list of things to do this year is to try one of these randomizers.
Oracle of Ages and Seasons, both fantastic games, are coming to this Nintendo Switch Online.
Yes. And
Pass.
The unique thing about those two games, if I remember right, they're actually like published by Capcom or something, right?
Yes. Those games and Minish Cap.
Minish Cap was Capcom. Or published by Capcom. So those are like, they're in the Zelda universe, but they are not actually published by Nintendo.
Ooh. That is correct.
I wonder how that worked. How'd they even do that?
Deal. Shook hands, did deal, made game, done.
Yep.
Because like Nintendo holds everything to like close to their chest now.
They probably were breathing over their necks.
Not really so much because I think Platinum Games was handling Breath of the Wild stuff. That's why when it came to like certain NPCs or characters, it felt like it was not written by Nintendo and that it was written by the guys that did Xenoblade. And that's actually the part that drove me nuts because like other than Link and Zelda, maybe like the King of Hyrule, some of the characters I'm like, I don't like them. I don't like these. They're fine if you put them in another game, but not a Zelda game.
Do you like the 4 champions?
Yeah, I just sat and I realized this because for those that don't know, I'm trying to go for like a complete physical Zelda collection.
Yeah,
all the mainline games and stuff like that. And I realized I'll probably never complete it because the 3 I have to get the Metroid Prime / Wind Waker combo pack, which is extremely rare.
Yep.
And then the other rare ones I realized were the Panasonic 3DO games. Was it 3DO or CDI?
Oh, damn.
The CDI.
Is a CDI, which were just complete garbage. That's where that whole "excuse me, princess" thing comes from. It comes from those games, right?
Actually, it does not.
It doesn't.
That came from like an actual Zelda show that's based off
the cartoon,
the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
That's right, the cartoon, right? I've never seen the CDI games out in the wild, even like at a vendor that would specialize in stuff.
Nintendo probably don't want anyone to play them.
Okay, so while I look this up, I'm gonna look this up here because I have a feeling I want to see how much it would kill me to get these.
Probably a lot.
It's gonna hurt you emotionally.
Yes.
So we'll go for completed here just to get a fair assessment. Sold items. Zelda's Adventure, Philips CDI. This looks to be complete with the case and everything. Sold for $1,000.
There it is.
Wait, which one is this one? Okay, so that's the CDI. And then there's
You're charging $1,000 because they know that some like rich memer Elon Musk looking motherfucker is going to buy it.
Elon might have actually bought it. You never know.
So Zelda's Adventure, the Zelda's Adventure on the CDI is incredibly expensive. That's between $700 and $1,000. Then you have Legend of Zelda Wand to Gamble On, which is going for about $150 to $200. And then you have Faces of Evil on the CDI, which went for about $110 to $150. So
again, cheaper.
Yeah, that Zelda's Adventure is just. I'll probably never get it. There's also the other real rare one. I forget what it is, but there's a demo that's on a 3DS cartridge or a DS cartridge. Let me see. Oh, I forgot what it was. There was some trailer or something that was on a DS or 3DS cartridge that's also pretty rare that I have not seen out in the wild. Okay, Googling it right now. While I Google this, I want to know about Overcooked too, because Overcooked is one of those games where Pal always tries to get me to play it and it always ends bad.
Well, so Overcooked 2 is like a multiplayer, like you have 4 players, and the general concept is you're supposed to prepare meals, cook them, and serve them to the customers. But the thing is, it's basically, think Super Mario World, where every single level, you have your levels and you have your worlds. Each have different themes, and each level has like different things you have to cook. Like starts you off easy, which is like sushi, and then afterwards you're making like cakes and pizzas, where you have to chop up your vegetables and then put them in ovens where you have to mix them, steam them. But then you get to a point where you have one stage where at first you're like a hot air balloon. Actually, I'm not going to spoil this. I'm not going to spoil that because like when you play, it's gonna be bad. But like because I was playing with both Ninja Guy and Everest, and Everest actually threw a fish at the back of my head and made me drown in water.
Wow.
What?
I actually pulled my inner Gordon Ramsay. Oh, no. I was like, you got me fucking killed. I'm trying to make this burger.
It sounds like Zen's a bit intense with this game.
Dude, I'm just the same way. Me and Pao tried this. Like, me and Pao tried this game and I got mad. Like, I got angry because I'll spoil it mildly. Everything starts off normal. Like, okay, cool. You make the soup. You make this, da da da. And everything works in a cohesive flow, right? And then out of nowhere, they have fucking earthquakes that shake the kitchen up and flip it around upside down 180 degrees. And now you're screwed because you got the pot of water, but you don't have the vegetables to boil them in. Or boil in them. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is terrible. Then there's like a level that you're on a train or something like that.
Yeah, there's one level where you have a platform, but the thing is, one person must operate a lever that moves it around. The thing is, though, in the top left corner, you have your things like your burritos, your sink, because you actually have to do wash dishes.
Yeah.
And then you have to, and then on the right is where the places where you chop vegetables or mushrooms or meats.
Yeah.
And then down at the bottom right, you've got your frying pans, and at the bottom left, you have your pots where you're supposed to cook rice. And the thing is, though, there was at one point, I'm gonna have to share this clip with you, Eric, afterwards. We were so uncoordinated that like people kept falling off the cliff, and half the entire level is on fire.
Oh my.
The fire was spreading throughout the entire thing, where it even set the frying pans on the other side of the map on fire. I'm like, guys, this is not going well.
And then I'm trying to remember what about this that also. Oh, so Pow and I tried it on the Switch. Like we did the Switch version. Mm-hmm. And compared to the PC version, the Switch version moves a lot slower. It was like actually throwing off my timing a little bit and my pacing. Mm-hmm. Because the characters actually move slightly. I'm assuming it's running at a slower FPS than the PC version. The PC version you can hit, 60 frames or whatever, versus the Switch was probably running it at 30. And I was like, Pow's in the comments here, the Switch or you? Was the Switch moving slower or was I moving slower is basically what she's being sarcastic about.
Which one was it?
I don't know. Screw that game. But the other thing I realized about this thing too is like Overcooked's one of the games where the more people you have...
Bless you.
Bless you. The more people you have playing in the game, the actual more difficult it gets.
I think bit his tongue. You bit your tongue?
No, I bit the side of my cheek.
Oh.
Now both sides of my cheek hurt.
Oh.
I thought you snapped your tooth off. You're just like looking like a dude that just lost a tooth where you're like,
I've been dealing with this. Like I've had, where like you've been just like gritting your teeth and like the skin like on like one side of the cheek kind of just like molds the shape of your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been having that and it's been so sore for like the last week. I've been trying to eat on the other side of my mouth, but now that like I hurt my cheek, is like I'm just gonna just drink fluids from now on.
Sheesh. Dude, I've had so many instances where like I cracked a tooth or something along those lines, just eating, and it's horrible, dude.
Yeah,
I literally have a BMW in my mouth with all the dental work I've had done.
Damn,
it sucks.
My teeth. I hate my teeth.
Sucks.
Because like because like my teeth got fucked up as a kid because I went face first right into playground equipment, and a lot of my teeth were shoved up, and after that like they had to like pull like a whole bunch of teeth, and I was like 8 or 9 years old, and and essentially like it completely ruined my teeth, where like a lot of my teeth didn't actually fall out until I was practically an adult.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember. You guys want to know the most painful experience I've ever had in life? Mm-hmm. It's going to trigger some people here. If you're afraid of the dentist, you might want to mute me here.
Uh-oh.
So I go and I'm having a cavity worked on, right? And the guy does the whole Novocaine thing and, shoots you up with the Novocaine and numbs your mouth, right? And they always do this as a safety measure. They say, hey, if you feel anything, let me know. So he's doing his work, right? Doing the dental work. And I start feeling the burning from the drill. And I'm like, obviously my mouth's like hung up, and I'm like, "Arr, arr," like I'm groaning, right? And the guy's like, "Are you feeling that?" And I like nod. And he's like, "Okay, hold on." He takes the Novocaine needle and he just fires the Novocaine right into the open wound of my mouth.
Oh. Yeah, that's
I just felt this keep in mind, I'm barely numb. I'm not feeling everything. He just fires this cold Novocaine right into this open nerve in my mouth where my tooth is, and I scream in pain.
Yeah, you would.
That was the most painful fucking thing I've ever endured. I think ever having like anything medically related done. That was unbearable. I've sat through tattoos, I've sat through piercings and all that stuff, and nothing compared to that. And I'm like groaning in pain or whatever. And then like when everything's all said and done, I'm like sweating and I'm like, I hate it. And I'm leaving, and there's just this poor kid sitting there reading like whatever like Boy Scout magazine or whatever the dentist has out for kids in the aisle.
Oh no.
And I'm just like, I just probably wrecked that kid for life.
That kid's traumatized from the dentist for life now.
Yeah, dude, just hearing me groan in pain. It was god awful. He ever says he's probably just there for a cleaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Just a bit of a soul cleansing.
Someone's always got to do this. Someone's always got to do this. Someone's always got to come in and be like, now he just needs to experience childbirth.
It's basically just like pooping, right, Eric?
What? I don't know about that.
Okay. According to Chibi, who's in chat, she said that to kind of practice for giving birth, you just have to use your pooping muscles.
No.
I mean, Chibi probably knows what they're talking about because, they have a kid.
She'll vouch for him. Yeah. She'll vouch for him. Just like pooping.
This could be one of those things, though, where they think it's their pooping muscles, but they're not,
Yeah, just imagine you're just like really backed up, but you're pooping out a human child.
Who wants to call Hannah and Leshki and confirm this?
Oh shit! If we do, I'm gonna be fired.
Let's confirm that. I'll do it. You know what? While while Dill moves on to his games here, pelvic floor is the more technical term. I'm going to ask Hannah. Guys, you're going to witness this right here, right now. We're going to ask Hannah. God. I will go to the admin office.
I still find it strange that Leshki's kids got the same birthday as me now.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, true.
Oh, that's so wild. Hannah is giving to prepare for birth. Do you strengthen your pooping muscles?
Imagine what her reaction to it will be.
Just make sure you do not mention my name.
Yeah.
Zenith wants to know.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's see. We're investigating on the pod. Okay, there we go. We have messaged
That's our
Hannah.
Excuse.
We've asked Hannah. If we get an answer today from Hannah, we will let you know,
Asking
everybody.
for a friend.
Okay.
So yeah,
if I disappear during the break, you'll know.
No one said your name. No one said your name.
Suddenly he just gets taken away below his desk.
Look at Zenith, buddy. Clearly, you need to work on your office politics, okay? You always blame the newest person on board.
Yeah, Everest.
So this would be Everest.
Turning this into a
Everest
poopcast.
is your fault.
How dare she?
Yeah, she was the one who asked all these questions.
Not even here on call with us. How dare she?
But then again, I put myself in a corner because I just literally told Everest in chat that I would fire you before her. So like I'm in trouble now.
You know what? Everest is right. It's Dill's fault. Because he's more than I am.
Yeah, you know what? Dill hasn't done anything wrong yet. You know what? We're pinning this one on you.
I can't do anything. I'm British. I have the British immunity.
Just like how you fucked up your microphone audio.
Exactly.
If you
that wasn't my fault.
Definitely not a British thing. We don't fuck
up.
That
wasn't my fault. That was just the ghosts in my PC when I moved my hard drive over.
That was Logitech, right? We're gonna call Logitech on that one.
We're gonna call Logitech on that one.
Okay, so we will find out from Hannah if this is confirmed or not. Anyway, let's roll on here. Dill, my favorite person, my favorite Brit. I saw Detective Pikachu. I'm gonna be thoroughly impressed that you did not play Detective Pikachu yet.
Yeah, this is one that I I knew about it when it released, but I didn't really get it until recently with the 3DS shops closing down, really. I actually have the game right here.
Oh, look at that, dude.
Look at it there. Yeah.
I can confirm. The 3DS game prices are already...
Yeah, I'm not
sucks.
surprised. It does. It
sucks.
It does. Absolutely. I tried to find the Super Mystery Dungeon game online. Yeah, that thing's like £70 now. Like on Amazon and shit.
People
I tried to find Amazon.
People are animals, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's insane. But yeah, I finally played this after like it being out for quite a while and stuff, and I've already watched the movie and everything about it.
So
as well
yeah, my experience with Detective Pikachu is I've only seen the movie. I don't know about Zenith, but my only experience with Detective Pikachu is the movie.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't see Detective Pikachu?
No.
Aww.
Was it Ryan Reynolds?
No, I would have seen it for Ryan Reynolds. I just didn't get to see it.
In a Canadian, him tries to not hate Ryan Reynolds.
No,
that's right. Ryan Reynolds is Canadian.
I mean, like I love Free Guy.
Yeah, Free Guy was pretty good.
I was just mentioning like on stream a couple of days ago that I love all those like action movies that Ryan Reynolds in where he just turns them into comedy. Like he did one with Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Which one was that?
Oh yeah, the Netflix one.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but
we can't
that was really funny.
Call it.
The one Ryan Reynolds movie I recommend to anybody. If you've worked in a restaurant, you're going to know this movie.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Go watch Waiting. Waiting.
Yeah.
And you will find another one of those golden, like, underappreciated comedies in Waiting. It's literally about a group that works at a restaurant and all the disgusting, heinous things that happen in a restaurant.
Jesus.
It actually totally changed my opinion about eating at restaurants.
You bet it did.
I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
Now because of that movie, and obviously I've had friends confirm stuff that happens in that movie, I've never complained about my food.
Yeah.
If something's wrong with it, I just deal with it.
Yep.
Because
I can confirm though that Ryan Reynolds does not voice Detective Pikachu in this game.
Yeah.
So what is that? What do you actually do in Detective Pikachu?
So in Detective Pikachu, it's similar. Think of it as like the movie, but more episodic. Like there are different chapters. I think there are like 12 chapters in total in the game, from what I've like researched into it. It follows obviously the character Tim Goodwin, who is trying to find out what happened to his father in Rhyme City, similar not just to the movie itself. And he comes across this petite Pikachu with like a the detective hat on, who only he can understand for some weird reason. And basically like the first thing that you do is like you chase down an Apom that's stolen like a necklace from a young girl, basically, and then you got to like solve the case of like where it has gone, basically, by going into the park and then like tracking down the Apom, tracking down what happened to the Apom and everything like that. It's basically like a point and click kind of game.
That's
where you have
what
to
I was
click
going
on
to ask.
things. Yeah, you talk to people, you talk to Pokemon, because Pikachu can talk to Pokemon and you can talk to people. And then you come up with, you get all the evidence, you get all the clues, you put it all together, and then you talk to it with Pikachu, and you kind of move off all the evidence into boxes, basically, to like figure out what happened, basically.
Huh. So okay, so it's like you click an item or you click a option. It's the like what is it, like those choose your own adventure type things, right? Yeah.
Although in this case, it's not choosing your own adventure. It's more like choosing what the game is trying to tell you. Basically, it's like.
Do you have like a cute little Pikachu journal and all this stuff that you keep this info in?
Okay, so there's these little cute. So you on the second screen, there's like a Pikachu icon. Every so often, it will flash. And there's like a cute Pikachu moment that happens. Like the most recent one that happened is that I was in this cave and the water, the stream had been frozen over. And Pikachu like indicate it was lying. It literally showed a cutscene of like Pikachu slipping on its butt from like
the
ice. Yeah. And the cutscenes honestly in the game for a 3DS actually aren't bad. Like they're actually pretty good cutscenes. For like obviously for a 3DS, but you know,
Is it a short game? I feel like it's a short game.
It's not. Yeah, it's like I think it's how long to beat. So it's about 12 to 14 hours.
That's actually not bad for a 3DS game. Okay,
for a 3DS game, it's not bad. Yeah, like and it has, as I said, I think it has about 12 chapters in total. But I'm on chapter 3 right now for it. So
okay, Detective Pikachu. Yeah. Detective Pikachu. Would you recommend?
I'd recommend it honestly. Yeah, especially if you want something completely different from the normal Pokemon formula.
Yeah, the Poke grind.
Like if you're bored of like the standard Pokemon grind and normal formula, Pikachu is pretty different. And if you enjoy the movie, you'll enjoy the game. Honestly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Detective Pikachu. Unfortunately, as we all know, the 3DS eShop is down. You can go ahead and you're gonna have to go catch it from in a GameStop or a used video game store of some sort, or by other means that we will not describe how to do here. But Detective
I'm just thinking
Pikachu.
of that. I'm just thinking of that GIF or that meme where it's morally correct.
It's morally correct. You know, buying a game.
Morally. Bob Morley.
Morley.
So you'll have to hunt that down on the used market, secondary market somewhere. Hopefully that price hasn't climbed up through the roof yet.
Probably has.
Okay. I do want to know about this one because I actually downloaded this. Oh, I didn't download, but I added it to my Steam library. The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. For those that don't know, the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog was actually an April Fool's joke by Sega, but it's actually a full playable game.
It is, yes.
Tell us about it.
So the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog is as a standard like murder mystery game. Basically, the one thing I will say about it, it's quite it's start to finish. It's basically like you interact with all the like well-known characters from the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. It's the old full-on like, as it says in the title, it's a murder mystery game. Basically, it's not real. It's like Sonic is playing a bit. Everyone plays like a role basically in the murder mystery, kind of like Cluedo, where it's like who murdered this person, and in this case, it's who murdered Sonic the Hedgehog. The art style of it is basically like how do I describe it? It's kind of like a slideshow kind of picture effect, basically, where it's like you click on the character, you can interact with them. Basically, it comes up a new scene and interact with them. And you can ask them like questions and stuff. You can create your own name for your character as well that you are, because you're like a completely brand new character in the game. I chose to make my name the Devil. The only reason why I did that is that you need to have watched Snapcube's recent video of Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, in order to understand why I named myself the Devil for that. But honestly, it was a lot of fun. It's a free game as well. Like, it was a free to download game. Not long, took me about 3 hours plus to finish.
Right. It's like a little short.
Yeah, like a little short thing. Like, it feels like a passion project that the people at Sega wanted to just create just because they wanted to. And it's very cute. It's very artistic. It has a decent plot twist as well, because there is a plot twist towards the end of the game, which was pretty fun. It really makes you try and investigate everything as well. Like, it tries to make you go to every corner of like each section in the train in order to like find all the clues and how to get to the like different carts basically. Because the weird thing is that like, spoiler alert by the way, is that like one of the characters basically keeps locking doors behind them. So you have to try and like find the key for each door and trying to get through like each section basically. But it's not until later on you find out why they were locking each of the door basically.
It's really, really cute looking. If
it is,
you can look it up on the Steam right now. It's actually still available as of this podcast. It's still available to download.
Yep.
So
free to play game, won't take you too long to beat. Like it's like you can probably do it in an afternoon. Done.
Yeah, Steam Deck compatibility is a little iffy, but it'll definitely run on a PC. It doesn't look that complicated.
It's not going to take too much resources as well. Like it's like a very easy game to play. It loads up pretty fast too.
How do you feel, Zenith? Do you feel like you want to know who murdered Sonic the Hedgehog?
No, not really.
Are you a Sonic hater? I want to know.
I'm someone that bullies our mod Ninja Gaiden for because like I swear it's almost every single game there's like or if I'm playing like certain music, like so often like this, like a certain song or a certain aspect of a game reminds her of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I tease and bully her about it.
She's one of those ones that always like, this reminds me of Sonic. This is
I'm
is
like,
Sonic.
This is Elden Ring. What are you doing?
I'm guessing that Morgan has played Sonic Frontiers. Then has she?
I don't know, Morgan. Have you played Sonic Frontiers?
Yeah, the most recent Sonic game that came out.
All I see in the chat from Morgan is, "Oh, I love trains.
I love trains." That just reminds me of the Asdef skit. I like trains.
I like trains. Yes, Sonic Frontiers looks really strange. It's
honest answer. I've played. I will say this over and over again. Sonic Frontiers is actually good. Like, it was a surprise. I was expecting it to be quite shit, as like other Sonic games have been, but this is actually a pretty decent Sonic game.
It's like Sonic mixed with Breath of the Wild. That's basically what it is.
I mean, it's not as big as Breath of the Wild, but yeah, it is that.
What's the real fucked up one? It's like on Xbox or something, and it's like one of the worst rated Sonic games ever.
Sonic Forces?
No.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's got to be, because like I saw it and where like a lot of the speed levels were just completely broken.
Sonic 06, that's the one.
Oh yeah,
that's the one.
That's so it's weird. It's like
that's Morgan's favorite game.
Yeah.
Of all time.
No, it's not.
No, it's
actually
not.
Ask her.
Morgan.
She said it would be her favorite, her most favorite game of all time if the controls weren't so broken.
And also the freaking human kissing scene.
She found it like that.
There's a human kissing scene in there?
There is.
Can I get... Okay, I need to play this.
No.
Can I get Sonic 06 on Steam or something? Can somebody in chat confirm that for me?
I'm pretty sure you can never get it ever again, because who wants to see that ever again?
I always want to play weird shit like that, because it's like some weird like RPG game where Sonic goes to like real world stuff.
Here's another thing that I learned as well. Fun fact, by the way, about Sonic: he actually has a human girlfriend.
What?
Yeah, I only found this out recently. It's in the comics. It's in the comics. Like, he has a human girlfriend. It's not canon, but in one of the comics, he has a human girlfriend.
Okay, hold on.
Well, I'm a little surprised that he's got a human girlfriend, because you think anyone that'd be dating Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm not sure if they would like the fact that he goes fast.
Well,
you know what I mean? For no reason.
Stop.
Probably the same problem with the Flash.
What would be real screwed up? Remember, like, what if Sonic's girlfriend gets pissed? Like, they've been in a relationship forever, and she's like, "How come you haven't given me a ring? I don't have any." Let's see.
My.
In the games, Sonic has never officially had a love interest, although it's been hinted time to time that he secretly loves Amy.
Mm-hmm.
While in the 92 manga and Sonic X, he loved her. While in the original version, he was muted. In the French version, he fully says, "I love you." Okay, who is Amy?
Amy Rose is the new protagonist in the game who basically has a huge crush on Sonic, but not a human.
Okay. Sonic's got to either shit or get off the pot. He's missing out here.
Yeah.
She looks like a good fit for him. I had no idea this character existed. I haven't played Sonic since like Sega Genesis.
Oh god, that's like OG then, like OG.
Right. What?
Yeah, I think Amy came around. I think I want to say the Adventures title, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe late. Yeah.
We're learning all kinds of stuff about Sonic today. What the? I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wild.
Honest, my coworker is literally like a Sonic encyclopedia. So,
yeah. Not gonna lie though, I do like what I would love is if they actually remastered
Sonic 06.
Unleashed. No, Sonic Unleashed, because that game was actually good.
That would be cool.
The Werehog section was kind of meh, but the stages were so good. They were.
My coworker's favorite Sonic game is Sonic Unleashed.
Okay, let me see what we can buy on Steam. Sonic.
Probably a lot. There's a lot of Sonic games on Steam.
I can get Frontiers. I can get Mania, Origins, Adventure 2, Adventure DX. No Sonic, whatever the one someone just said. Sonic Frontiers, Sonic 4. Yeah, I mean, you can get quite a bit of them. I just don't even know which one to play. Sonic Adventure 2. I had no idea which one of these to play.
Adventure 2 is my favorite one of all time.
Okay. Which one's Sonic Forces?
The one with all the maps.
Okay, that doesn't really narrow it down.
I haven't played Sonic Forces. I don't know.
Sonic Forces. Okay. Oh, either way, I mean, we got to figure out one. You know what? We could probably do a whole series of like shows on this channel of just us playing Sonic games.
Yeah.
This is overwhelming.
It is. Yeah. Sonic's been around for a long time.
There's a lot of games.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're not quite like Call of Duty where they release a game like every year, but they'll come up with something.
I
this
feel
is just
like
on Steam.
The thing that the Sonic developers are doing right is like getting the fans involved with a lot of development of the games. But the fan made ones are actually really good.
Okay.
Yeah, like that's what Sonic Mania was. Like some of the levels were fan developed.
Yep.
Really?
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like Sonic Mania is probably like the last good Sonic game to come out, because like not only did it have like classic stages, but it also had stages that were made by fans that were actually felt like they were developed by Sega themselves back in the day.
Okay, so I'm looking at Sonic Mania on Steam right now. This one looks more retro.
Yeah, because it was a 2D side scrolling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to add this to the wish list. This one's cheap. This one's $20. All right. What else do we got? We got that Death of Sonic really turned into a conversation about Sonic. Okay. I know Zenith's going to want to know about this one too. Well, let's talk about the Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah. Childhood game. I played this in the original Game Boy Advance a long time ago, like 15, 20 years ago at least, something like that. Because like that's when it came out. Yeah.
So, like, I played like the original one for the NES. Like, I remember back in the day, I was going to
NES?
NES? On the NES. Like, I was playing Mega Man 2 on the NES.
The original Mega Man's, yeah.
Oh, the original Mega Man's, not Battle Network.
Yeah. Yes, so like, we got to like Dr. Wily's stage. I had to go to bed because I had school the next day, and we would leave the game running overnight because we didn't write down. I didn't want to write down the passwords, so we just left them running all night.
Oh man!
And then I come back and trying to finish the level before school
with the little dots.
But so I did not. So I played like the NES ones, played some of the ones for the Super Nintendo, but I never played Battle Network. So for someone that is unfamiliar with the Battle Network games, like what's the difference?
So Battle Network is basically more of kind of like, you know how with Final Fantasy, the OG Final Fantasy games, where you would like roam around in certain areas and you would interact with like an invisible enemy, and then it would turn into like a battle thing, arena thing where you're Battle Network is kind of like that. But this is more in the cyberspace, basically. So like you play as a kid called Lan. Lan is the protagonist in the game. They have a thing called a PET, which is a personal. I think it's called a personal transmitter or something like that. And each of these transmitters have their own avatar, an avatar character that they can control in the cyberspace world. Mega Man is basically Lan's, the avatar in like the game where you can connect to the PC. You can connect to the cybernets online. You go around as Mega Man. You go through. You basically fight viruses throughout the cyberspace. And whenever you interact with them, it's like a Final Fantasy kind of like scenario where you encounter an enemy. It changes scenes to like a floor scene. You can move around on the floor to avoid the attacks from the opposing enemies. You can press, I think it's like B or something like that to fire just a normal shot, but then you get these card things which has attacks. It has like certain attacks like sword attacks, cannon attacks, like health increase. It has stealing. It basically can steal like the opponent's like area, like zones in their area, so they become your area.
It sounds like Final Fantasy Tactics.
It kind of is like Final Fantasy Tactics. Yes, it is like Final Fantasy Tactics. Basically,
it's like all positioning and attacking and stuff, like chess, basically.
Basically, yeah, it is kind of like that. The way that you attack, obviously, as I mentioned, is that you use like these the cold chips. They're basically like cards where like you can only select a certain kind of them each turn with like that you battle in. You can, so if you have like multiple cannons, you can use multiple cannon cards at once and then fire them one at a time. And then there'll be a bar that will gauge that will literally like charge up for when you can do the next turn where you can use the next load of items in the cards basically. And yeah, as I said, this is something from my childhood. I played this on the original Game Boy Advance like a long time ago. And when I heard that they were bringing the entire collection on PC, I was like, hell yeah, I'm getting this. I'm reliving my childhood. Why not?
How many games are there?
6.
Okay, wow. I didn't know that there was so many. Okay, so I'm looking at the Steam page here for this. It is on Steam. It looks like they've got, because this was off like the Game Boy Advance, etc. So it's got like some, it's got some borders they've added and stuff to make it look pretty. The game looks pretty. Did they do any like graphical revamps or anything on it?
Yeah, they did some graphical revamps. They upped it, the scaling and the resolution for it for obviously PC players and for new modern day consoles. Made it look a little bit less 8-bit, more like 32-bit, 64-bit, everything like that. They basically just like did that. They added a lot better saving options as well. Like saving's more like a recurring thing that you can do now rather than being like selective. They also added like if you did a pre-order thing for it, they added like a bonus chip thing that you can get with the game where like it gives you a new chip which basically can like it's like an insta-kill attack. Which I've not used. I will say that I've not used it yet. I will only probably use it as like a last resort kind of attack. But like, yeah. And then like the chips alone, the chips are kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh, where you can only have about 30 of them in your arsenal, basically. So it's kind of like a deck of the chip cards, basically.
This looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's like, as I said, this is from my childhood and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, this looks really, really cool. Okay. I know I heard about this thing and it was on my wish list. I guess I added it when they did the Nintendo Direct or something. But
as soon as they announced it on like the Direct, I was like, wait, what? Because I immediately ring like the flashback in my brain. I was like, my memory just unlocked there for Battle Network.
Oh, cool. Okay, $39.99 on Steam. I'm gonna guess that's on Nintendo Switch and Sony as well.
It's PlayStation, Steam, and the Switch.
Okay, cool.
I got both of them as well because like, they've here's the thing that they've done that's weird on some places. It's separated into 2 volumes. Volume 1 has Battle Network 1 to 3, and then Volume 2 has 4 to 5. I got mine from Green Man Gaming, which had both bundles in, which cost me like £42 because it was on sale.
Oh, I see this here. Okay, so
but for Humble Bundle, I don't recommend getting it on there because for some reason Humble Bundle has separated into 2 different volumes, charging like $35 to $40 a piece.
Yeah,
like
that's what
volumes.
Steam here. So I'm sorry, I'm correcting myself here. Volume 2 is $39.99 on Steam, but if you want the package, it's $60.
Yes, but I recommend going Green Man Gaming though because Green Man Gaming has it on sale.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
I would gladly take sponsorship from them.
I only spent £42 on both on like the entire bundle, basically.
Not bad.
That's 6 games for like 42 quid, basically. And I've already put about 7 hours into the first game.
Gee, this is what you wanted to play this one, right, Zenith?
I
forgot.
definitely wanted to like check it out, but it's like kind of like a little low on my priority list of things.
We got a heavy 2 months
because like one of the games that like not only do we have like a lot of games coming out, but the next game that I actually want to like try before I get a chance to that is Shovel Knight, which has been sitting in my library for like forever.
Shovel
Knight's amazing.
I had good things about Shovel Knight.
Yeah, Shovel Knight's great. Yeah, play that one. This is cool. Okay. That's Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah.
All right. And we've got me. So me, myself, we're still hammering through the Resident Evil 4 remake.
I think last time you talked to me, you were on chapter 10, didn't you? So
yeah, so that was off pod between the break here. Yeah. So like, I made it to chapter 10. What a wild ride this game is.
Yeah.
What an insane wild ride this game.
Are you in? Does that mean that you're in the mines now in chapter 10? Or are you right before then?
So I've gotten to the I'm basically trying to exit the castle.
Right.
So spoiler alert. Fair warning. Spoiler alerts right now. If you want to skip this section of the pod here, feel free. Lower volumes. Here goes Zenith again.
Zenith has a.
There's nothing you can do to surprise me. But go ahead.
Yeah. You're like, whoa, wait, that happens? No. So I've gotten to the segment. What segments have I passed here? So, I played so much of this game in the past week. I got through the segment of the dogs in the courtyard, or the hedge mage dog.
Yep.
What an incredible boost in like the quality of that segment.
That was good.
That was a lot creepier than before. So the dogs in the hedge maze were amazing.
I'm kind of curious. Spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't played the game. Did you prefer Ada being before the courtyard, or do you prefer her when she was there in the OG game?
I prefer the way it is now.
Yeah. Same.
I think it changes. It makes the pacing of the story a lot better.
Yes.
What else did I did come across Ada Wong, obviously. She's introduced herself in the game. They're doing some strange stuff with Luis that was not in the original story, the way they're utilizing Luis. So it's changing the tempo and the pacing of the game. I'm trying to think of other segments I passed that were in the original. Oh, the stupid segment where you have to hoist Ashley up to the top ledge so she can crank up the platforms.
I think she can do it herself now, which is a lot nicer.
And she can crank up that. Yeah, it's a little bit easier, but it's still
She's cranking that Soldier Boy.
It's still annoying as hell. The other thing I did that I thought I'm still kind of on the fence, I got to the room with the knights.
Oh god,
which was in the original game as well. And the knight segment this time around is, I think, much more difficult depending on your ammo situation, but I think way more well done.
Yeah, it's more well done, especially because Ashley actually becomes a bit more useful in that section, because like they added in the blue fire, which adds a little bit more of a, like, it freezes the knights kind of a scenario. Which makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, that's the counteraction to the whole thing if you lack ammo.
Yeah.
It slows them down so you can get shots in, or you can go and, melee them to knock off the helmets and stuff. But the night segment's great. The dogs in the courtyard was fantastic. It's just an incredibly well-rounded game. The thing, I'm starting to find the quirks now. The game has gotten easier because my strength and weapons have been built up. My resources are becoming a little more abundant. The giant to take out the giant with the cannon.
Yeah.
A fucking incredible segment.
Fun.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Incredible segment to run through. And then I got to, there's so much I did in this game. And then now I'm starting to experience the flies that were in the original game. The flies are much more difficult now. Much more intense to deal with. And then the quirks I'm starting to find, the controls get a little clunky sometimes. You can easily miss a shot even though the guy is up and standing still. You can easily not register a shot in the game, which will, waste the bullet but not register the shot, which sucks. And I'm also finding myself randomly doing the 180 turnaround.
Yes.
That was in the original game, which I don't know why they kept it, but
what's your favorite weapon to use at the moment?
I'm becoming a big fan of the handgun. I'm like actually handgunning a lot of it, because if you get solid control with the handgun, my ammo is much more abundant in it, and it's much easier to just aim and fire. The shotgun's okay, but yeah, I've been handgunning most of the game.
I think it's particular from the team. I think for me it was either I used like the same set of weapons for the majority of the playthrough. That's how I wanted to do it, because I wanted to do a different set of weapons for my second playthrough. The rifle, like this is the one that I really enjoyed using the most, especially when I equipped it with the scope. The rifle with the scope.
Right.
That one is like really freaking good.
Yeah, it really that is a huge improvement too. The scope, the rifle. It's just a well done game. The more I go through it, I'm starting to realize, okay, this is gonna be in like game of the year contending.
It's contender, yeah. I don't think it'll win though. There's some serious competition this year.
There's so much stuff coming this year that's like serious competition, but this will definitely be a contender for game of the year. It's incredibly well done. I still think Resident Evil 2 is the better remake, just because of the jump in time, like in terms of technology and like improvement.
In terms of a remake, it's definitely a better remake, because it actually remade a lot of stuff in the original game. Whereas
that sets the tone.
Yeah, with Resident Evil 4, it didn't need to have a remake, but the remake is really well done. Like,
I think the remake for RE4 was a byproduct of like how much people loved the remakes for 2 and 3.
Right.
Because I remember when they first announced the remake for 2, like everyone was shocked, especially with how good it looked and what they did for him.
Yeah, so that was my game of the year. Resident Evil 2 remake was my game of the year. That was an incredible experience. I was like, wow. And then this one is taking a game that's already good and I think making it better.
Improving upon the original formula.
I think the remake makes 4 a better game.
Do you think Ashley is less annoying?
No. Actually, I'm finding her less annoying. I'm actually enjoying Ashley more, I think. The segment, I did go through the segment where you play as her.
Yeah.
I like how they handled that whole thing too. They did that a lot better than the original game. They did that a whole lot better. They gave her some depth to her personality and stuff when she's going through this whole thing. And
I was just screaming constantly.
That was just a frightening segment.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's just a frightening segment. The same with the dogs. The dogs is a frightening segment.
Yeah, I'm just glad that you didn't have that segment where like she gets trapped in the freaking trap and then you risk shooting her. That was like a painful one.
Yeah. They did away with that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this here for a second because Everest has chimed in here. Unpopular opinion, but I don't think remake should be game of the year because inherently it's a remake. It's good, but it doesn't seem like it deserves the title against freshly released games. So let's talk about this for a second here. What's the opinion on this? Are they worthy of it?
I think they're worthy of it. Like, yes, it's a remake of an original game. Yes, but it's still a game that came out within that year. It's just like taking something from the original formula or something and making it like either better or worse, depending on what your opinion is on said remake. I think like it shouldn't be taken out of like contendery for Game of the Year just because they like were originally made a while ago and then like remade better and added more to the formula.
What do you think, Zenith?
I'm kind of like on the fence of it because after all, this is like a game that is being, completely remade based off of something that was originally made. So like it's, the idea is already in place. A lot of the creativity was, already put out there by the original developers. So, when I look into giving something Game of the Year, like Game of the Year is like obviously like, they should be, yes, they can be considered, but it's just like kind of hard to get over the fact that like it's still a game that was already made before, and yes, they like RE4 probably by the looks of it, it looks like it could be one of those games that can definitely be put into a Game of the Year consideration because of like how much like has been changed. Like when you look at like games that's completely changed, I think of this one. A good remake I can think of is like say the Link's Awakening HD remake.
Yes, those are complete remakes. See, I think that's the question we have to ask ourselves. There has to be some standardization of what's a remaster versus a remake.
Yeah, because actually after stream, I'm playing a game called Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, and that was just a remaster. Something like that, no, doesn't matter how good the game was, they're not fundamentally changing anything. Whereas RE4, they've changed a lot. Like, and same thing for like when they released Resident Evil 2, they changed so much from the original game. So that is something that can definitely lean it into the Game of the Year conversation. But the fact of the matter is I'm still more likely to look at something that is completely original idea, something that's new, or even if it's like in a series like say Horizon Zero Dawn or the new Horizon game.
Right.
Like even though it's a sequel, I'd be thinking of that first before then like a really good remake of a game. So I don't know, it's just kind of like a mental hurdle.
The thing is also is that like it's I'm trying to try my thoughts here.
While you gather that up, I'll go here. So I get what Everest is saying, because that's where I think you have to define the remaster versus remake. So like let's look at it for something that actually makes sense here, or kind of complements Everest's approach here. So go for it.
One quick little thing, and something that could change things. However, though, so based off what Everest said, the story's still the same, the concept is still the same. Those are parts of the whole. But then when you consider the Final Fantasy VII remake, where the story is actually different and heading an entirely different conversation, can that be put more in the Game of the Year conversation as opposed to other remakes?
That's where I'm kind of getting at here. So
yeah, because isn't the OG 7 game is a lot bigger compared to like what the 7 remake was, because they've separated it into like 3 different games.
The 7 remake is disc 1 of the original one, basically.
Yeah.
However, though, the story is going in an entirely different
route
direction than what Final Fantasy VII was when it came out on the PlayStation 1.
So I know the RE4 remake is what we're talking about here in this round, but let's take Everest's statement or her quote unquote argument here, and let's look at RE2. So Everest's statement is like these push the industry, right? Or it's industry pushing. RE2 was an old PlayStation 1 game from a completely graphical generation. And the RE2 remake was completely built from the ground up using the RE engine and took an old game that was, I would say, dated, obviously, and pushed it into this modern generation. And it had all the other companies in the industry now looking at what they could remake.
Yeah, and it started a cycle of Capcom making remakes of their original Resident Evil franchises.
Right. Now, does RE4 do that same thing that RE2 did? No, not quite. I think when you look at the RE4 remake, it does kind of help Everest's argument a little bit. But they've done stuff in RE4 that changes the plot line, the storyline. They've utilized the characters a little bit different. Like Ashley in this game is a completely different character from the original one.
Yeah.
So they've done that kind of stuff. But I think, for the sake of it, like the RE2 remake really is a bottom-up rebuilt thing from the from the original game. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Industry forward. So now we have something that has taken the industry and flipped it around and been like, oh, now you have Konami, you have Capcom, you have all these, or you have Konami, you have all these other companies looking at the way Capcom is doing their remakes and being like, what we can do. I'll give you an argument that definitely backs up Everest's. The Last of Us Part 1, that should not really be in a contender for Game of the Year because it is essentially the same game with a couple graphical revamps and little change to the original product.
And in the PC version's case, not very good graphical enhancements.
Right. Now, looking at Dill's statement, it's a game that was released in a certain year and it was damn good. I feel like it should be. Witcher 3 doesn't qualify either because The Witcher 3 hasn't changed anything that would change The Witcher 3.
I think The Witcher 3 just got like an upgrade for new gen consoles.
And it's all really graphical with a couple of extra caveats, and treats on top. Link's Awakening, I think, would qualify. Link's Awakening was an old school Game Boy, 4 to 8-bit game that got completely revamped to match what the Switch was capable of.
Yeah.
So
that was a pretty good one too.
Link's Awakening count. Does Wind Waker HD qualify? I don't necessarily think so.
No. I mean, they changed some things, but it's still essentially the same game.
Right. So I think to an extent, Everest does have a point, but I think there just comes points in these variables where it's like they've taken a game that's so old. Final Fantasy VII qualifies in this too, because the Final Fantasy VII remake is incredible.
Yeah. I still need to play Intermission for that.
Yeah. 7 was an incredible game in itself. It's just become dated with the now compared to the technology that's available now, and the remake is just incredibly well done. So it's hard to say. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say, but Everest does bring up a good point. Like, do we qualify these things?
There's good points on both sides, really. It's just what your opinion is on it,
right? I think maybe that brings up the argument too, because yes, 4 is an incredibly well done game, but the stuff it's up against this year.
Oh god, yeah, it's not. It's going to be a contender, but it won't win, I don't think.
What have we had this year so far that's been huge?
Resident Evil 4 remake. Hang on, I've got a document which just shows all the releases in the entire team.
Let's take a second and. Did we need to give hugs?
Let's see, January.
What happened to the coffee, Chibi? What happened to the coffee while we look this up here?
It's not like I gave her the Tim Hortons
shit coffee.
Yeah,
you give her the shit coffee.
I did not.
How dare you?
But it was the worst.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So January, the biggest release I think was Dead Space remake.
As far as I'm aware, have we had nothing but a year of remakes?
So far, it feels like it.
I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is a remake. You know, it's just basically Breath of the Wild DLC,
technically,
right?
Metroid Prime Remaster as well.
See,
that was a remaster though, not a remake.
Yeah, Metroid Prime I don't think counts. Nothing was really essentially changed about that game except for some quality life improvements.
Yeah, so far those remakes, I'm not sure if they would actually qualify for Game of the Year. Like maybe if anything, the closest contender so far is RE4.
I think Jedi Survivor might be an interesting contender for it. But
right, Jedi Survivor is going to be okay. So here's what we got. Realistically, here's what we've got so far that have made the waves that it has. Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger here. But we have the Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah,
that was a huge release this year. We had Resident Evil 4 remake so far, and then the Dead Space remake. Whether or not that's gonna make the list or not, I don't know.
Dead Island 2. I don't know if that'll be a contender. It depends on what they do with Dead Island 2.
So I think right now, in terms of huge releases, the only thing we've had so far are the Resident Evil 4 remake and Hogwarts Legacy. Those are the only two huge releases we've had this year.
Yeah, it's all about more like later in the year when we'll have more releases that have more contenders, like Jedi Survivor, Tears of the Kingdom, maybe even Street Fighter 6.
Street Fighter 6, yeah. See, like that's going to be a thing. So
I think Final
Fantasy 16.
I think that might be a contender.
That could be a good contender.
Yes, Final Fantasy 16. We're going to talk about that in a second. That's coming. So, you know, it's a big year. But I do genuinely think that the Resident Evil 4 remake is going to compete and make the category along with these games. What else did I do? I did some Final Fantasy 14. I'm really trying. I'm trying to grind through this like introductory, like a Realm Reborn, like
what server are you on? Because I know my brother's been playing that a lot.
I have to look. I will get to you on that once I fire it back up. I'll let you know. But
I'm trying to get him to join me for Sexy Vampires. He just like no, playing Final Fantasy. I'm like okay.
I mean, technically, he's like playing a game with like sexy bunny girls. I mean,
he's practically playing like a sexy vampire bunny.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's with uwu.
Yes.
Yeah, he's pretty uwu. I saw it.
What are some remakes that have made the Game of the Year category? Let's see.
Good question. I think Resident Evil 2 remake technically had.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 did.
But I don't think one is actually one Game of the Year.
Yeah, so, I don't think so.
You know, like I said, like even though like it's like a contender, but it's hard to pass up like an actual original idea. Because you know, think about it this way. What's a good remake that came out last year? If anyone can think of something.
What did come out last year that was a remake?
Okay, so let's say let's pretend that RE2 came out.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's pretend that the actual like Grand Theft Auto definitive remasters or whatever were actually good.
Don't remind me of that, please.
Let's just pretend that it was like really, really good. Imagine putting that as Game of the Year over Elden Ring. You can't.
That wouldn't happen.
I would have literally have rioted. I would have literally gone. Like,
I would have stopped gaming. I would have sold my my PC for parts. And I would have become a celloist.
I would have teleported like in, and that kid who interrupted Miyazaki would have been the least of their problems.
Elden Ring was truly something special. We all know that.
Absolutely.
So those games come one in a million years. You know, once in a lifetime. Those are special cases. That was a game that had everything in the right place in the right time. But
Final Fantasy VII Remake was actually a contender for Game of the Year in 2020.
Yeah, and I don't think it got it.
No, Last of Us Part 2 did.
Yeah, Last of Us Part 2 did. I don't think Last of Us Part 2 should have got it. I think it should have been the Final Fantasy remake.
See, this is the thing. I originally thought it deserved it until I played Ghost of Tsushima. And I was like,
I forgot about Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima deserved Game of the Year that year, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
that game was phenomenal.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Last of Us Part 2.
Either that or Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal was like, that was so much fun.
Doom Eternal is...
God damn. I need to go back to Doom Eternal,
Crossing,
honestly.
was a great time.
Doom Crossing
was my favorite gaming era. That was the most wholesome, violent era of all time.
That was the other argument, too, because remember, Animal Crossing got nominated for Game of the Year that year.
True. And it was like, the thing was like, that was the time when, like, you know, the pandemic happened and everything, like right as those games came out, everything went into lockdown.
Call it my hot take, because I know it's a hot take for a lot of people. If the pandemic did not happen, Animal Crossing would have never gotten the notoriety that it did.
True. Honestly, I agree with that.
The pandemic made Animal Crossing a phenomenon. It was already a popular game, but Animal Crossing became a phenomenon because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But what I love so much is that like Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal releasing on the same day was just very just like fitting to like what was going on in society. Is like we're like, hey, we're all in this together. We just got to try and relax and chill out. But then on the other hand, there's that one game we want to play. We just want to shoot everything and fuck you.
I was doing both then. I was doing
brain
both.
through its ass. There you go.
Yeah, I did both.
Yeah. There was just so much stuff that year.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like I said, it's a hot take. Is Animal Crossing a bad game? No, but not by any means. But I just don't think it would have gotten to the level it did without the pandemic.
True. Yeah, it still sucks that like despite all the success, like they stopped doing updates very, very shortly after. Like they started working on Splatoon 3.
I think that was what killed it. Really, is that they just didn't update it enough.
I don't know.
And that's the thing too. Even what are we talking? Game of the Year 2020?
Everest, Last of Us Part 2 won that year.
That's Last of Us Part 2, which I don't even think was Game of the Year. But that tells you too that like the expectation that Nintendo had for their own game, you know, because they plan that stuff out. They plan that stuff out based on projected sales and all that kind of stuff and longevity that the game would have. They plan all that out. So even they knew, had it been a normal year, Animal Crossing would have gone this far, and that's how much we're going to invest this in it.
Yeah.
They did not expect Animal Crossing to have the impact that it did.
No.
Come pandemic time. And like I said, their projections for the updates and everything like that showcase that. Because that's all time and money they have to invest. So they allocate those funds to that. So even they weren't expecting, you know, the impact that game had. What was it? Oh, Final Fantasy 14. So yeah, I'm trying to do Final Fantasy 14. I'm trying to get through all this Realm Reborn stuff. It is so like much of a grind. It's just literally take this letter to this person. Oh, come join me to go collect this and then bring it back to this person. Except it's very mundane, like minuscule task, but everyone just keeps going about on all the great stuff that happens after Realm Reborn. I just got to get through this first 50 hours. You know? Yeah,
I hear that like base game and that stuff is pretty crap, but like we're pretty like okay, but then after that, like the DLC is great.
Yeah, it just turns into like, this epic thing.
Like, because I like, do you guys remember like the very early stages of Final Fantasy 14 where we just heard nothing but bad things about it?
I didn't, but I have a friend who was literally living it, like, because he played the game originally when it came out, and he knows how terrible it was until Yoshi P took over as creative director for Final Fantasy
and then they
14.
They actually went back and redid everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crazy thing. They actually went back and redid like everything.
Redid.
Yeah. And now look at it. Literally voted like the best community, best like online multiplayer game every year so far the last few years.
It's like
the year.
It's like overtaking
League of
like
Legends, I think.
overtaking
wow.
World of Warcraft, which was like the biggest thing.
Yeah. And also, fun fact, Yoshi P, the creative director, is also working at Final Fantasy 16. So if you like 14, you're probably gonna like 16.
Yep. I think that's gonna be a thing. And then I've been playing with the Steam Deck some more. I was putting I was playing some old school games on my Steam Deck.
Retro
and
time.
I've discovered this thing called the Retro Achievements. If you do not know what Retro Achievements are, it is a website that's community driven, and these people go and they create achievements that you can unlock for all these old retro games.
That's cool.
You can go to retroachievements.org, I believe it is. I believe that's
Retro
yes, retroachievements.org. There's a community-driven project it is a community-driven project to add achievements to your old retro games. So
cool.
If you use a system such as RetroArch or Emulation Station, anything of those sorts, there's now a section where you can create a Retro Achievements account and you can log into that account when you do the RetroArch setup. And it will start, as long as your machine is using an internet connection, it will unlock the achievements as you do them.
They even had the Virtual Boy.
Yeah, the Virtual Boy. So I've been taking my old favorite Game Boy game from when I was a kid, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan, an old school side scrolling beat 'em up.
Nice.
And I've been going through this game, and it's unlocking all these achievements. It's like, get to 15,000 points. You get an achievement for that. You beat a level without taking a hit. It gives you an achievement. Beat Shredder with full health, and it's an achievement. And it's one of the coolest things that is just like revived all this like games I've played tons of times, but it's just like revives this new like resurgence in them, and you go back and you do them again, and now you're doing it and you're having a lot of fun trying to unlock this stuff. This would definitely be up your alley, Zenith, if you do RetroArch and stuff like that. Because
I mean, I would love one if I had like the money for it.
Well, you don't need a Steam Deck to do this.
Because I actually recently got myself a pair of headphones that are wireless, so like it'll just be perfect.
Yeah, the Minish Cap's here.
Yeah, the Minish Cap has achievements.
Ooh.
So you do not need a Steam Deck to do this. You can just, if you have a PC and you put RetroArch on it, you can go and unlock these retro achievements and play the games. So there's no real cost investment here, just time and setup. I think you would have a lot of fun. Like I give you some examples here. I'll go to the hardest achievement section just so we can get a taste of what the community has come up with here as soon as the page loads. But this has been a lot of fun. I did Super Punch Out. Beat so-and-so without taking a hit, that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a game that someone would be like familiar with. These are the hardest achievements to accomplish so far. Let's see.
What's this one?
This has been great.
I like how the top one, all evil eradicated, just beat the game.
Yeah, see? So that's probably a hella hard game. Let's see here. So, like, here's an example. I'm on this Ninja Turtles kick, but like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the NES is an incredibly hard game. So, like, we can look at some of the achievements there if it has any. The webpage is running a little slow. Sorry, everyone. Come on.
Everyone's probably playing retro games.
They might be. Yeah, I'm having a hard time with this. Okay, it's fighting me. So, like, I'll go to the... Oh, here we go. Teenage Mutant Ninja finally loaded. So this is 31 achievements worth 310 points. You actually get points for all the achievements you unlock, very similar to the PlayStation trophy system. And then you build up your rankings. So like, here we go. The value of a ninja: defeat the Technodrome without taking damage. This is one of the achievements you can unlock. This had, out of the 4,300 people that have attempted it, 266 have actually achieved it. It's got a 6% unlock rate. So,
oh my god, there's actually one for Pokemon Emerald Rogue.
There you go.
Complete a full run with a Bagua wipe active, trade at the start, and have an embargo 5 capacity 5 wild and 99 discount curses active. What the fuck?
So as you being the Pokemon expert, Dill, how difficult is this?
Well, I've only watched a video on Emerald Rogue. It basically turns Pokemon into a roguelike game.
What?
I've seen that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I do want to try it. This sounds really difficult though, this achievement. It does.
So there you go, Dale. You know what to do.
Yeah. I already have my next Pokemon game playthrough planned out though.
So if you were to use like RetroArch and load that ROM into RetroArch and then log into the game achievements, you can unlock these achievements as you're playing the game.
Yeah. And now I'm curious about like how many like achievements Emerald Rogue has.
Yeah, it's fun. So yeah, retroachievements.org works with any like any of your emulated background, setups. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and then we will go and talk about some of the news. So this has been Good Friends, Good Games, and we'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back to Good Friends, Good Games. Guys, I have an update for you.
Uh-oh.
I kept my mouth shut, but I have an update for you. Straight from Hannah's mouth.
Uh-oh.
Laugh my ass off. I did nothing to prepare, but I'm sure some women do work their poop muscles. So this might actually be kind of a thing. Hannah did not do this.
Okay. So it's not a common thing to do then.
No, I think what Hannah's saying is it's probably not uncommon.
Okay.
Well, hey, what can I say?
You learned some wild shit as a guy. I would have never imagined you practice shitting to have a baby.
Name to this podcast either one of two things: poop birth or practice shitting.
That's the thing. Like, what if you're practicing and then all of a sudden the baby just comes out? Like,
have you practice shitting yet?
Like what, Moss classes? You take shit classes. Some genius out there combined the two. Just like, that's wild though. Like some wild shit you learn as a guy. I'm telling you.
Yeah, true.
That'll be another episode contributed by a title contributed by a viewer. Beefle was last time. Now we're up to poop muscles. Poop birth. That's a wild one. All right. So we got the news here. So we got the final Tears of the Kingdom trailer. Now I'm hyped.
Yeah. I think this was the trailer that literally was the one that got everyone hyped.
Because I said in the last podcast where I was like, okay, I saw the gameplay footage. It looks cool or whatever, but I do not have that Zelda trailer that is hyping me up to go play this game like they did Breath of the Wild. I don't have that trailer. Now I have it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I see Zen flexing his muscles there.
I'm still deciphering. Was I correct? Is this a prequel?
No.
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 However, so first things first, for those of you guys that are currently watching this live, or if you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or even on YouTube, if you haven't seen the trailer, if you have no intention of seeing the trailer before the game comes out, this is your warning to skip ahead, because we're going to be dissecting it, and I'm going to be tossing in some theories. So
I only got to see it once, so
I watched it 30 times.
30 times.
30 times.
All right, you watched it 30 times. I only got a chance to watch it once, and I was going to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again today after this podcast.
I've watched it like 3 or 4 times at least.
But the one time I did watch it though, my mind was blown.
Yeah, I think everyone had the same reaction to Gan as well. Either it was a mixture of, oh my god, it was so awesome, and then, oh my god, fuck me.
So, you guys have known, like, I've talked about this plenty of times on the podcast where I mentioned I enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I like Breath of the Wild, but I have a weird relationship with it where it's missing a lot of things that I love about, that made me fall in love with this series. And I mentioned my cautious optimism about Tears of the Kingdom because I saw like a lot of the same stuff and how much is actually different in this, supposed sequel. But And like the gameplay trailer, got me more intrigued. However, all it took was this trailer to come out, and I'm just like, fuck it, I am in. Because not only are we going to be seeing, Hyrule above, Hyrule from above, but we're also going to be seeing Hyrule from below. Meaning we are definitely going to be in the dank caverns, as a quoted.
The dungeons.
Yeah.
There's going to be dungeons. There's going to be caves. And it looks like there's a lot. Looks like Hyrule is rebuilding. I was actually blown away.
This is phenomenal. This was a phenomenal intro here. I'm looking at a page here that's got some of the breakdowns and the secrets. So we got the opening shot of Hyrule through the clouds, emphasizing how important the world above will be. This is like the thing I'm excited for. I'm excited to be up in the air doing some of these dungeons. Not the dungeon, but some of these segments in the game up in the air. And then watching him do that drop, fast just drop to the ground.
A free fall drop.
The free fall was, oh, wow.
All I keep getting like there, though, whenever I see him free fall in the air, is I keep thinking of that freaking Kratos meme where he's like falling down off that cliff. That's all I keep thinking of in that freaking song.
You do realize I'm going to be doing a free fall from the sky and seeing if Link can survive with a fairy.
I'm gonna do that as well. Absolutely,
I'm gonna make him tumble off a mountain. I don't care.
Make him do it naked. Free fall.
This is the thing that I've said. Zen, I'm gonna literally also test the fusion apparatus out so fucking much. I'm gonna see what concoctions that I can create. I'm
gonna make an obstacle course where I'm gonna make Link bonk himself and tumble all the way down the mountain using like a fuse thing.
I want to make a giant pole and see if I can literally scale myself onto one of the big floating platforms.
Gandalf staff wizard sticking up to the top.
Yes.
Oh, there's another idea that I had. Like, have you seen that meme where it's a guy, he's doing his laundry, and it's on like the spin cycle currently, and he lifts the lid, and he takes the Mario doll, and then he tosses in. I'm going to be doing that, but with Link. I'm just going to toss him in it and just see if he just ragdolls inside of it as it spins.
Let's go
make something like that.
If you do that, Zen, you need to get a clip of it, and then you need to play the Mario sound effects.
The what's it called got both of you on the Twitch stream. The noise suppression, but we'll splice it in. Woo! Wide shot includes Hylian civilians panicking as a castle rises up in the distance with debris falling from the heavens. Then we cut to Ganondorf lording over a blood moon with his hair fully intact and glowing red. Yeah, we're actually getting Ganondorf this time.
Question for both of you then, since you are both well-known players of the original games. Is this your favorite version of Ganon that you've seen so far?
Yes, I prefer this over Pig Ganon.
Visually, yes. Here's the thing, though. At the beginning of the thing, and this is where theories come into play, because when we saw like a shot of Ganondorf, but from behind, we saw the red glowing hair. And
I think I know the theory you're talking about.
Said, "Is that Demise?"
Yeah.
So we're seeing. So I've been getting a bit of theories because did anyone see the shot of that girl that looks like Zelda but with different colored hair, different colored skin?
Yeah. I think everyone's theorizing that's Hylia, right?
Yes. So my theory is that the Sky Islands are from the past, and we're seeing Demise and Hylium in the same game as this. And I actually have a weird theory that no one's ever guessed. I think the Zonai or this past civilization, because I don't think we will come across like a past Link. They're going to give Link his green tunic at the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. That's what I think.
This is so wild. Yeah. Because I forgot Demise. Yeah. Demise is, for those that don't know, Demise is the one at the end of Skyward Sword. And then, there's so much to dissect in this thing. And then Hylia is...
Hylia's the goddess, isn't it?
Yeah, she's the goddess.
The one that Zelda gets her powers from.
Yeah. This is... I think every reservation I had about the whole thing has now been flipped.
Yeah. I yeeted all my concerns and doubts.
I mean, the one I know about Zelda, or the Legend of Zelda, is that it's all around the Triforce of Power. That's the whole kind of like thing that it has been circling around for its entire like franchise.
Right.
And Zelda, Link, and Ganon all represent each of the segments of the Triforce of Power, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So like Ganon's the power segment, I think Link's the courage segment, and then Zelda is I can't remember what's the final one called? Wisdom. That's the one.
Wisdom, yeah.
So do you think we might see them possibly work together against Demise maybe in the end?
No.
No?
Because Ganondorf is the vessel of Demise, which was actually solidified in Skyward Sword.
Right. Skyward Sword is the first game, like in the timeline.
Yeah. So I think there's gonna be less focus on the Triforce, but more on just the fight between good and evil, which is Hylia versus Ganon. But I've also seen some different kinds of conflicts, because remember that art piece, and it's like one of those like cryptic oh my gosh, what's the word for it? It's like artwork where it looks like you have like a whole bunch of minions. You have guardians on one side, and you have like bokoblins and mobs on the other. And you see like an image, and it looks like Zelda, but on the other side, it looks like someone holding a sword. Well, at first it looked like Link. No, that's actually Ganon.
Yeah.
Or Demise.
Yeah.
So
that's the sculpture, and that's the painting, the cave painting.
Yeah, apparently like I thought that that was Link. That is actually not. So who knows what's going to happen. So
this is gonna be a wild May.
Yeah. I've already got my weekend planned for that, for Tears of the Kingdom. I've already been requesting my time off for that weekend.
I'm not going to work that day. I'm literally call my boss and be like, "Yo, we're doing a thing. We can't. We won't be in the office today."
Yeah. The interesting thing about this, because what I'm seeing is that Nintendo took a lot of things to heart with Breath of the Wild, because yes, they were exploring it, and yes, they were like, "Hey, this is an open world Zelda." So, and I think they learned what works and what doesn't. So they know that that there's some mixed reviews on the durability system, but a way to get around that is through the fuse system,
right?
Which obviously increases the durability.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single shrine on the map.
That's what I noticed too.
Like, did you see that? It's a brief little scene, and Link is scaling a cliff. And you can clearly see Kakariko Village down below. And where that shrine was that you usually teleport to go to Kakariko Village is no longer there. You just see like a little structure with like green circles. I think that's actually a place where you warp to and not an actual shrine.
Right.
So the shrines have been turned into warp gates then?
Possibly.
Yep. I'm okay with this.
I think we're going to get what Zenith wanted, and we're going to go back to the traditional dungeons.
Yeah,
segment.
Dungeons, caves. I don't mind having like finding heart pieces or spirit orbs on the overworld, as long as like there's a reason to traverse the ground. Because with Breath of the Wild, the problem that I had is like you go to like that whole like nice tropical area in the south. I mean, I would have find it more exciting if I could find like solve like environmental puzzles while you're down there to get your heart pieces or the things you need to get all your upgrades, as opposed to look for, because you find a shrine and then you're stuck underground and then you're like, oh yeah, I have to deal with this like fucking blue aesthetic place again. I mean, it's fine like the first 15-20 times, but after that I'm just like, yo, I'm done.
Yeah, it looks like the this page I'm reading here, it looks like in the theories the Sheikah appear to have taken a bit of a backseat compared to Breath of the Wild. The Sheikah was, of course, you use the slate to unlock the shrines and all that kind of stuff, so that does sound like it's taking a bit of a back seat to everything. But I'm totally on board for like solving these things above ground and then underneath. Underneath Death Mountain seems to be just insane to me. Like being under Death Mountain.
Something that someone else pointed out as well is that where's the Gorons?
You see Goron fighting with Link, where it just like charges right at him. I'm not sure what that is. That might be Yunobo.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, like every single like leader in the trailer has her own spirit tier. The only one that wasn't seen is Yunobo.
Yeah.
But I think that there was also like a Goron that was there when they were showing like the scenes, because it looks like Link gets to fight alongside. So I'm not sure if they're story based, but it looks like maybe there's like little missions where you have to help a group of people defend like an area.
Okay.
So I'm getting kind of like Hyrule Warriors kind of vibes from those kinds of things.
The war aspect seems pretty hefty here too. Like there's just like a lot of characters going on screen.
Yeah.
Floating ships. Notice the floating ships. That shit looks cool.
Yeah.
And then I'm stoked for
those
the
bosses.
Yeah. I hope it's dungeons. I'm with Zenith. I can't wait to do dungeons again.
Yeah. I mean, like I've seen like some pretty dark looking places that seem like it, but at the same time though, like it really does feel like Zelda, the developers are doing a great job of trying to. So Breath of the Wild, they showed as much as possible because like it's a world for you to explore.
Right.
And it's like, here's our new tech, here's our new system. Just get up, craft your survival, and go. Whereas for this, it's like, all right, you know what to expect if you play Breath of the Wild. But now we want a story-driven game where I actually feel that you're required to do certain things before you just go to the very end. And I feel that, sure, you might have some choice in like what you prioritize first, but they will want you to do as much as you can. They will want you to interact with characters and do all this additional stuff, because it felt like Breath of the Wild, 90% of it was optional.
And here's a good question in the chat here. Can I make my own hook shot with the fusion? Because I want one. I don't think you're gonna be able to make your own hook shot, but you're gonna be able to tie stuff to the hook shot.
Yes.
I would love making my own hook shot. It's like, fuck yeah, let's go.
I'm psyched, boys. Like, I'm literally psyched. I'm like, now I'm like, okay, this is what I needed. This is what I want. Like, I'm going to be there day one. Let's go. You know?
Yeah. And the other thing is, just from the gameplay demo itself, it looks like the game runs a bit better too.
Yeah. The original Breath of the Wild had some hangups.
It was made for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And then they obviously
ported
it to Switch. But they also had the time to kind of like do tweaks, because I look at Xenoblade. Like, we had this conversation before. They could make Xenoblade look so beautiful, and it still run at whatever frames per second that it runs at. So they can probably do the same thing for Breath of the Wild, for Tears of the Kingdom, where you can run around the entire area and not have to worry too much about frame drops.
Yeah.
I feel like they had the time, and they were not in so much of a time crunch, whereas they, hey, we need to get this thing released now.
Yeah, we need to. I know. Did we talk about this the last pod with the Zelda Switch? The console release?
I think we mentioned about that. Yeah.
I want one. Do I need one? No, but do I want one? Yes.
I want the Pro controller. The Switch I don't really care too much about.
I'm not opposed to. I'm not opposed to buying.
I think the Pro controller I might get my hands on.
Yeah, okay. So let's get some info out there for those that are interested. So Tears of the Kingdom comes
out in less than 4 weeks' time.
May 12th.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, May 12th, Nintendo Switch. I'm guessing. Oh, yeah, that's right. This was the $69 release. So you're actually paying $70 for this one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
This is a big one. You're paying $70 for this guy. So yeah, that's Tears of the Kingdom.
Which I don't know how you feel.
To see Jude during that time.
You what?
Because I was actually thinking for my very first stream of Tears of the Kingdom, I'd be like, it's here. Nobody watched this stream. Because everyone's gonna be playing the game themselves.
Right.
So,
we're gonna have to. The three of us are probably gonna have to work out something out so we can talk about this, because I feel like this whole thing's gonna be one episode dedication. I think
absolutely, yes.
So we're gonna have to work ourselves.
Like, our next episode is the 6th. The Tears of the Kingdom game comes out the week after that.
Oh, so the one we come back after the second episode of May. We come back after the game.
Yeah,
has been
so
released.
the 20th of May will be where we will be talking about Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, we'll have like practically a full week of gameplay under our belts.
That's actually the perfect time frame then, because most of us will get so far in a week. I don't think any of us will beat it in a week. Do you think?
No, I think most likely we'll get a good amount in. I mean, I've probably got like 1, 2.
This is a 50-hour game, I'm guessing. The last one was 50 some hours.
Like, I might put a pause
50?
on like my stream store redemptions while I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, just so I can slow things down.
I was going to say 50 hours. I
would say it's a 50-hour game.
My first playthrough of Breath of the Wild was like 70 to 80 hours, and that was without DLC content.
Yeah. All right. So that's Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We're excited. We're all going to be looking forward to talking about that on the pod when we come back. All right, Dill, you watched the State of Play showcase with Final Fantasy 16. Steer the wheel. Show us what you saw, what you like, what you're intrigued by.
Well, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. Obviously, I watched this with some friends of mine, one of which who is like very much excited for this game because he's a big fan of the creative director for this game. The presentation itself, it basically showed off a lot more of the game's world, the icons, which if you don't know what the icons are in Final Fantasy world, the icons are basically the gods of Final Fantasy, which you can like. From the looks of it in 16, you can battle them, you can find them, you can battle them, you can absorb their powers from the looks of it as well, and then use their powers and summon the gods themselves in battle, which is pretty freaking cool. Hopefully I'm not getting that wrong. If anyone is, you can probably just tell me off.
Big Deal Gamer at twitter.com.
Exactly. Yeah, and it showed more on obviously the combat, the characters. It showed like the base camp area, the main hub area, basically, where you interact with characters and you buy things, you buy armor, you buy new equipment, hang out with get side quests as well, because there was a side quest hub and everything for it. Yep. Which was pretty nice. And the game itself looks very good.
The combat actually looks pretty fun too. Yeah, I was actually watching. I didn't finish watching it yesterday, but that's what I was doing.
I did not get a chance to see this one, but what is the combat adhere to like Final Fantasy VII Remake? Is it doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's taking what they've done in Final Fantasy VII Remake and basically just adding to it. Essentially, they're just like making it a little bit better.
You can only control the main character, whose name is Clive.
Yeah,
Clive.
That's basically it. Clive is the main character's name, and they show in the gameplay. They show kind of like the time lapse as well, because I think Yep.
Yeah, because that's something I'm curious about, because it says that the game takes place in his teens, his 20s, and his 30s. Did they show like the difference between all three timelines?
I think they showed the teens and the 20s. I don't know about the 30s, honestly. I don't know about that one. I know I definitely saw scenes from him in his teens and him in his 20s, but I'm not sure about the 30s. I could be wrong though.
That's an interesting approach.
Yeah.
I think that's new.
I mean, they kind of did a little bit of that for Final Fantasy 15, because obviously there's a part of the game near the very end where all of a sudden Noctis and your rest of your party are older.
Not to mention the main protagonist having a beard out of nowhere. Like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah. One thing I will say as well is that they've done some very cute little like teasers to the OG Final Fantasy games in the form of leveling up.
Is that the pixelated art? Like the pixel? Yes.
The pixel art thing. They did that for I think the save icons and for the leveling up icons, which is a nice little reference to the OG games, which were very cute. It's very nice little
Does it give you
I've not played the originals.
Did they give you the womp noise? The womp?
It gives you the womp noise, it gives you the Final Fantasy level up like the victory noise and everything.
Wow. Okay.
It's quite nice. Yeah. It's very very cute, very much. There's apparently Yoshi P has said there's going to be a lot of references to the older Final Fantasy games.
I noticed too, because this looks like more of the old school traditional Final Fantasy, like literally, knights in armor and type of stuff. Before we kind of veered off into the realm with Final Fantasy VI, where things became more technical in 6, like modernized, mechanical, and stuff like that.
Yep. Also, there are accessibility items as well, which help improve the approach to the game as well. Which are in the form of the rings, basically, that you can equip to your character, which will give you more of an assistance in combat. These are like the rings of timely focus and the rings of timely strikes, which basically slows down time for you when you're about to get hit by an attack and allow you to dodge instantaneously. Which
I kind of like that, but I'll let you finish that first before I
it's an optional thing. It's basically if you're more drawn to the story and you don't want the difficulty to be too harsh, you can equip them. You don't have to. They are an optional thing to do. So this is catering to challenge runners who want to kind of like try like doing the dodges without the slow down time effect, basically. But for those who are more casual players and just want to play the game for the fight, for like the first time, it's something that's just nice and appealing to have if you're playing it like, for your first run.
Wow, this looks incredible.
Yeah,
I'm so stoked. This is a PS5 exclusive, right? And then like
for
in
about a year plus, yeah.
All right,
like exclusive contract for about a year plus, and then it'll release on PC, similar to what Final Fantasy VII Remake was like.
Guys, I'm telling you, this year is nuts. So we have Jedi, in a week.
This is the thing: if you're a Final Fantasy fan as well, not only do you have this, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out in December.
Good Lord.
Yep.
Okay, so here's what we got down the pipe. So in a week, we have Jedi Survivor.
True.
And then June, I think it was June 11th, I think it is Diablo 4.
Hold
on, let me see here.
6.
6. Okay, so we have Jedi Survivor in a week. We have Legend of Zelda May 12th. We have Diablo 4 June 6th, and then we have Final Fantasy 16 in June. June 22nd. It's just 3 months in a row we're getting hit with stuff.
No, normally the summertime is when it gets a little bit lighter on the gaming, but this time around it's like the middle of the summertime is like, ooh.
I wonder if everything's just getting caught up from the pandemic now, like in terms of development and stuff like that, and everything.
Because like January and February and March were quite light months, really. Where there was smaller titles, and then there was like one big title release, and then that was about it. But then recently with April, like there've been a lot more like bigger games that are coming out, and then May's gonna have Tears of the Kingdom. June's got a lot of stuff going out in June for like a lot of like big games.
Yeah, because I think Redfall's in June too. Also,
yeah. Redfall is also in June, which I'm like 50-50 on that game because like it looks fun, but then there's some red flags they've like shown recently. So just like ironic with the game.
Final Fantasy 16, $70 on PS5 exclusive.
Yep.
Now it's definitely the game that would get me a PS5.
We'll ship you one, Zenith.
We'll ship you one.
We'll get it from DK Oldies. Just so you know we really care about you. Just so you know we really care about you, we'll get it from DK Oldies.
It'll come with a free dust bag.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You might actually just get a PS3 and you might get a PS2 and PS3 taped together.
Oh my god, imagine if you actually did.
That is mean, but I love it.
Or a PS4 and PS1.
Just because to show our appreciation and we put your thing on stream, we're going to throw in a fucking keychain and a Twinkie.
Yay.
Yay. There's a lawsuit going on against them guys now. Apparently.
Oh yeah. Yep. They're being sued.
That's a whole different conversation. So Final Fantasy 16. Okay, what do we got here? All right. Super Mario Brothers the movie. I'm the only one in the group that has seen it so far.
Yep.
I'm waiting until next month.
So there won't be any spoilers here. Not any direct spoilers, I'll put it that way. Yep. What I can say about Super Mario Brothers is you're going to go in, you need to go into Super Mario Brothers and expect watching a kids movie. This is a movie made for kids.
Yeah.
It's not quite in the same realm that Sonic was. Sonic was kind of like on that weird fine line of like PG-13, older teenager to adult.
Yeah, you're not going to expect Mario and Peach to filming their sex tape at the very end.
What the hell did you just conjure up in your head? What is wrong with you?
Obviously,
well, you said it's for a movie for young ones, so I was like, yeah, it's definitely not that one.
Obviously, Zen's been reading too much fan fiction. We all got it. Yeah.
I don't even want to know what your hub search looks like. Okay, I don't want to know your curated algorithm.
I have a question for you, Eric. Then, since you have watched the movie. What was your reaction to Jack Black's Bowser?
Okay, I can get there real quick before we talk about the topic here. So, go in watching a kids movie, expect a kids movie, and you will be incredibly impressed. Yeah. This is it was weird because I guess the Rotten Tomatoes reviews from the what is it called, like professional reviewers and stuff was low, but the audience score was high. Mario. The audience schedule was really, really high, or the audience approval was really high. That is accurate.
Yeah.
So you go and you watch Mario. If you go in expecting a children's movie and with that reasonable expectation, you will have an amazing time. What I can say, this movie was written for adults that are taking their children to a kids movie, because your kids are going to get all the joy out of seeing Mario and the cute noises and all the cute scenery and everything. It's beautiful. The movie's fucking gorgeous. You're going to get all that excitement. Your kids' eyes are going to light up and everything. And then you as an adult, your treat as an adult is you will get thrown every Mario reference in the history of Mario thrown at you in this movie. There is a reference. I pretty confident
even Galaxy.
Yes, there's a Galaxy reference in there.
Oh, that's
Here's
cool.
how I'll show you how far the references go. Okay, I will not give direct spoilers, but these are Easter eggs. The cafe in the town is called Punch Out Cafe.
Cool.
So if you know your Nintendo history, Mario was the referee in Punch Out. Mm-hmm. Another random obscure one I'll say now, because anyone seeing this movie that's not deep into Nintendo history and stuff like that won't notice. But in the arcade cabinet inside the cafe, it's Mario Brothers, but it's actually called Jumpman, which Jumpman was the original Nintendo intended title for the release. Very, very cool Easter eggs.
Yep, very subtle.
Very, very subtle. Luigi's phone plays a very certain ringtone.
I have heard that. I think I've seen that one.
And of course, there's very cute little joke references, like Mario will tell Luigi, you need to stop being so scared, which is obviously a direct reference to Luigi Mansion and stuff like that. So there's an Easter egg thrown at you from every angle. Now, they do emphasize more references than others. So like there's a very strong Super Smash Brothers reference, obviously, in the Donkey Kong segment, which we saw in the trailer. And then there's a very strong emphasis on the Mario Kart aspect of Mario's history.
Yeah.
Which are incredibly well done segments.
I hope that there's a reference to Mario Party.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I don't remember seeing one, but I'm sure there is. I'm sure
Zen will sniff it out.
They got so obscure with some of the references that, like I said, I never thought I would see the Jumpman reference.
Yeah. So what was your reaction then to Jack Black singing in the movie?
Jack Black carries the movie.
Yeah.
Jack Black gives so much depth to Bowser that you would think it's just a fucking cartoon turtle.
Yeah. Because, I feel like we've all listened to the Peaches song, haven't we?
Yes. How has had the Peaches song on repeat in her Spotify list for several car rides now, and it's driving me nuts. But Jack Black carries the movie.
I don't blame her.
Jack Black carries the movie. He's incredible in this. Even Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is beyond well done.
Even though it's just Seth Rogen.
It's just Seth Rogen, but it fits.
He doesn't do voices.
It fits.
It's just Seth Rogen in a monkey costume.
But that's the thing. It
still,
fits.
as Donkey Kong.
It fits, right? It just fits. And then you have, well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Chris Pratt. He's not that bad.
Okay.
You kind of tend to forget about it.
I think he's probably like outdone by the other like voice actors, isn't he?
You forget about all the Chris Pratt issues throughout the movie, like because his voice is not that bad.
I think what it is that makes it probably would make you forget. You know, that's coming from someone that has yet to see it. Is you fall in love with the character and you just forget exactly who's actually voicing it.
Yeah,
and there's like, you know what, I'm actually rooting for this guy. Like this is funny, a lot of character, and so, you know, and it's no fun for me to just be like, oh, boo this person because, you know, Chris Pratt.
There's a lot of stuff well done in this movie that really tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. The ones that I know for sure will get like Zenith and any, you know, individual in this chat or, you know, that's listening to this right now that's in my generation of Mario. The way they handle the battles in the movie is going to make you smile because they made it very, very specific to where the battle with Bowser is going to bring your memories back as a kid. They wrote that segment from an adult standpoint. The way they do that battle is going to tug at your heartstrings and is going to bring back a lot of memories as a kid. And Zenith, like when Zenith goes and watches it, he will know exactly what I'm talking about.
I think I already know what exactly we're talking about.
Because they actually show it in the trailer or the first look or whatever. But like, since it's already in the trailer and the thing, I'll give the minor spoiler alert. The Tanuki suit comes at the end.
Oh.
And then, there's a very, you know, there's, like I said, that's the only detail I'll give out. You see the Tanuki suit towards the end of the movie.
What about that Luma? That really dark talking Luma? It's in there.
It's in there. It's in there.
Does he get even darker or like?
Yeah, that's the depressive mode of the movie. But like Zenith will have smiles on his faces when they see how they do the final showdown in the movie. Because it's all done in a very, very specific way that will bring tons of memories back to you when you were a kid. It's so well done. On that note, it's a great movie. It's a great, I want to go see it again. It's a great fucking movie. And that's not just me being a Mario fan. It's really, really well done in terms of it. If you go in expecting to watch a children's movie, you will get what you'll meet that expectation and you won't be overwhelmed, but you will have an amazingly fun time.
Yeah.
It's not overly complex, you know. It's not like this overly complex storyline with underlying layers, and it's a movie for kids, you know. Hey, we got to go save the princess, you know. It's that kind of thing, you know. That's not the plot line, but you know, like you're getting a very specific story here. That being said, Super Mario Brothers sets box office records. The Super Mario Brothers movie wins big at the box office with a record opening. So this has been updated, I believe.
It's now like past 500 mil.
Yeah, it had raised $500 million up until this point.
It is now the number one selling video game movie of all time, and it's only been out for not very long.
Yeah, it's
2 weeks.
It set the record its opening weekend.
Yeah.
It set the record its opening weekend, and
it's paving the way for more Nintendo.
The Mario
movies.
sweep is here.
Am I surprised? No. I don't think I'm surprised.
Do you think you'll get to $1 billion?
That's a tall order. Very few films have done that.
We shall see.
True.
Very, very few films have done that.
But honestly, I think
But it's yet to release in Japan.
Oh,
I'm getting vibes.
Yeah.
I'm getting vibes that like Remember when Marvel movies started becoming popular, and then all of a sudden,
that
like,
was
the increase of Marvel films, based off like the success of Iron Man and whatnot. I think we're to see that with Nintendo films, where like we're gonna get like really good
that's
what
adaptations. People are theorizing, and I think it was a fake mock-up. Someone saw like a Nintendo movie timeline. They put like Metroid and like Zelda up there and everything like that. It was quite gnarly.
Well, I'll tell you now. Nintendo's not dumb. They've ended the film in a way that would set it up for a sequel, obviously. They're not dumb. Yeah. Now, whether or not they go through with that sequel is up in the air. I can't see why they wouldn't, looking at this revenue. Mm-hmm. The question is, obviously they're going to do it. They're going to go crank out more stuff. It would be dumb of them to look at this $500 million and be like, oh yeah, we're not doing it. Plus you have the success of The Last of Us, the success of Sonic, and all these things in Nintendo now be, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Nintendo have dipped their toe. They've liked what they've done, and then it's made them a lot of money. And now they're going to probably explore other projects as well. They could probably make into animation, basically.
Meanwhile, Resident Evil out here is like, oh come on, guys, we tried this like 3 times.
Don't even get me started on that stuff. But
God,
congratulations to Nintendo, because they have a hit on their hands, and they're gonna. Now the question is like, how do we handle these properties? You have. Mario's a very safe property that works in a kid's environment. It's very safe.
A risky one for them would be to try and do either Legend of Zelda or Metroid.
Metroid, I think they can pull off in a space sci-fi, Buzz Lightyear-esque type of...
Yeah, Metroid is a lot easier to do, except it might be more like a bit darker in tone, but still kind of like I guess... I think like a movie that might give me that could be similar is, do you guys remember the movie Lost in Space?
I remember Lost in Space.
Like something kind of like that, where it's darker but still light enough to be like a family film.
Right. Metroid could work in a light-hearted PG-13 environment. Yeah. The problem
Zelda, I don't see working.
No.
Well, Zelda, because that's the other thing too. Metroid, while it's a very popular property for Nintendo, Metroid doesn't have the beloved fan base that Zelda does. If you think people would tear apart Mario, they're going to tear apart Zelda. Wait till they tear apart Zelda. Yeah. Because Zelda is sacred to anyone in a Nintendo camp.
Everyone has a favorite Zelda game, not like one favorite Zelda game, a favorite.
Right. And Mario is a very safe property to play with. There's so many cute things you can do with Mario.
There's so many characters. There's so many spin-offs. You could do one for Luigi, like Luigi's Mansion. There's one you could do for Wario. You could do stuff for Donkey Kong. There are so many things that you can do. I think probably do something for Yoshi.
The one I'd be most excited for, believe it or not, I want to see Star Fox as a TV show.
That'd be cool.
I feel like Star Fox works as a TV show.
We haven't seen Star Fox for ages as well.
Could you imagine Star Fox, but done in the style of the Muppets?
Oh
where
my
they're just
God.
like puppets?
Flippy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, why not?
But see, the question is, how do they handle Zelda? It would be dumb of them to not do Zelda, but
they'd have to pick one game and then stick with that one game. Basically. Yeah, that's what they would have to do. They can't deviate from it. They could probably make references to like other games in the franchise in that one movie, but like they'd have to stick to one game plot.
That's a tough one. But yeah, Mario, works because Mario comedically you can throw in every reference and it works. Kirby would make a great TV show. There's tons of things, and this stuff is gonna happen. Like I said,
there was a Kirby TV show.
Oh, that's right, there was.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong. Does Donkey Kong carry as a movie? No, but
didn't Donkey Kong also had his own TV series? Yeah.
Donkey Kong would be a great TV series. And then there's the other. Obviously, it's its own property in itself that makes tons of money. But like Pokemon, you can explore Pokemon. I don't know what the rights are in terms of that but I would imagine they can explore that again at some point. But
that'd be tough to do Pokemon because like obviously they already have like Pokemon films, and then they have Pokemon but that's
and they
basically
have
done by like
now dipped their toe in
animators
live
themselves.
action with Detective Pikachu. So like they're working on a sequel, I think, for that one, and then they're probably gonna try more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great. Congrats to Nintendo. There's a hit. They're gonna build a Nintendo multi-universe out of this, whatever they call it.
And then we're gonna
Nintendo-verse.
get Super Smash Bros. Movie in the end.
I want Super Smash Brothers like Monday.
Like
I want it in a
Avengers.
Monday Night Raw format every week.
Yeah. Like wrestling.
I think it would just work. Have a storyline go down and like just have it every week like Monday Night Raw, but be Super Smash Brothers.
That would work.
You know. But kudos to them. Zenith, I hope you see it soon. Dill, I hope you get a chance to go see it. You know, it's gonna tug at your heartstrings. It's special.
Oh.
And then we have, let's see here. Okay. Suicide Squad gets delayed a second time.
Yeah.
I think Zenith's probably on the same boat as me. Neither Zenith or I really care about this game, but I don't know how you really feel, Dill.
I mean, the reason why I was excited for this game was because it's made by Rocksteady. Rocksteady made the Arkham series, one of my all-time favorite game series ever. But I am not surprised, mainly because the state of play that they showed to the gameplay for this game was very lackluster. Like, the cutscenes were fantastic. The voice acting was really well done. It was just the gameplay. Like, it didn't feel like a traditional Rocksteady gameplay.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just
it's coming from a studio that made, in my personal opinion, one of the most robust combat systems to ever exist in a game franchise. Because, like, the combat in the Arkham games are so freaking good and fluid, and in these games, it felt quite generic and quite just, you know, point and shoot and, like, you know, just like weird abilities, and that's about it. And all the characters just use like guns as well, which is super like bizarre because like one of them's Captain Boomerang, who literally has like multiple boomerangs that can like explode, that can like bounce off things, that can literally
he's Captain
be
Glock now, so
yeah, he's Captain Glock now basically with a speedster gauntlet as well. So like he can do speedster stuff, which is cool. So why not make that into more of a robust attack as well, where you can like, you know, speedster with like his boomerangs maybe. That would be pretty cool.
It's like Fortnite and you're Spider-Man, but yet you just picked up an AK-47.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not surprised that this game got delayed because like the criticism on the combats, plus also with it being like a full-on like live action game as well, where it has to be online all the time, really also set off another red flag. That I don't think will change because they've already invested too much time and effort into that. Similar with the battle pass as well. I don't think that'll be removed at all.
No, they've got way too much invested in that whole thing already.
Yeah.
If there's any kind of like endorsement deals or what do they call it, collabs or whatever with brands or something like that, they can't, you know, they're not going to be able to flip back on those agreements. I think what it is, they say it's to make improvements, but I think what they're trying to do is they're probably trying to just make this game as palatable as possible and get it out the door.
I think they're trying to like maybe revise the combat system in each of the characters, maybe to make them a bit more like less generic to each other, because they look very similar to each other. Like they don't have much uniqueness to them, so that's
it's just
probably
a bad
what
game.
we're going to do.
I think this whole thing was just a bad idea.
Well, here's the thing. The rumor was that Rocksteady were going to be working on a Superman game. That was the rumor. There was even like screenshots and leaks from like E3 panels, where they were possibly going to like show this. But something happened down the line where they couldn't do that. So someone has theorized they basically reverse engineered the Superman game into a Suicide Squad game.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just do Superman?
I think that was the original idea, but I don't know what happened. I don't know if they had complications during
Licensing. It was
development.
probably licensing. They probably saw the licensing.
Yeah.
The Suicide Squad movie was a hit, so they're kind of like, let's pivot and let's get the Suicide Train rolling. You know, I don't know. It just seems this game just seems like a bad idea.
I think we'll have to just like wait and see what happens like later in the year. They'll probably release a new trailer and everything like that. Maybe show off the combat, maybe improvements, perhaps. But
didn't they just do a Batman game? Suicide Squad. What was the other one that just came out?
I'll be Gotham Knights.
That's the one. Knights. Yeah,
that was made by Warner Brothers.
Okay, they are the ones that did the Arkham Origins one.
Yeah, which that one actually wasn't bad, I will say. Arkham Origins gets a little bit of hate because it wasn't, it was like a prequel to the Arkham franchise. Honestly, that game had some pretty good boss fights. My favorite one was Deathstroke for sure. Like the Deathstroke boss fight in that game was
a good one.
Really well done. I wish they'd done that in Arkham Knight, really, but in Arkham Knight, they kind of fucked that one up.
I think the whole thing they run into is like, obviously we don't have Kevin Conroy anymore, so we don't have Batman.
No.
And spoiler alert, I don't know how this would be one, but this game's like 20 some odd years old at this point. Is Joker dies at the end of Arkham City.
Yeah.
So like, what do you do from there?
Well, I mean, it would have been cool for them to more explore a Superman game, really, because that would have been kind of cool to see what they would have done with that. If it was Brainiac versus Superman, that would be quite interesting. I don't know how they would limit Superman to Metropolis. But,
they dropped the Wonder Woman trailer, or like they dropped a Wonder Woman thing at a Game Awards thing one year, and like I'm like, where's that game? Pal was waiting for this.
God, yeah, that I don't know what's happening with that.
That's Pal's favorite superhero is Wonder Woman. Like Pal is excited to play that, but it ain't here yet.
We've not heard anything since. So most likely, if it still exists, it's either in development hell or it no longer exists.
All right, so we'll just go through this real quick. Follow up to Batman Arkham franchise to February 2024. So the release date for this game is February 2nd, 2024. We've made the tough but necessary decision to take the time to need to work on getting the game to the best quality experience for players. What that means, who knows?
People didn't like. They showed off what they had. People didn't like what they had, so they're going back to revise what they've done, basically.
Yeah.
That's all it means.
But
that's all it means.
On that note, that's actually time for us. That's time for us here. We're at the 3-hour mark. So, guys, great pod as always. All your insights and everything. Guys, go watch the Super Mario Brothers movie. Go play Resident Evil 4 Remake. Go get Tears of the Kingdom. It's like a great year for fucking video games this year. If you play video games, it's a great year for you. There's something for everybody.
Yep.
Unless you want to play Suicide Squad, then sorry.
Well, until next year,
you're out of luck. You're out of luck on that one. But administrative stuff here. We have the next episode on. I know I told Everest here. Let me go to the chat real quick.
I think it's the 6th of May. You said the
6th of May. There will not be an episode 2 weeks from now because it'll be my brother's birthday, and I'm gonna go spend some time with him. Yes. Next one is. I just had it. Where'd it go? May 6th. Yes. Next one is May 6th. We'll see you guys then. Again, > social media. If you're in the chat here, that'll get you the links to the TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube channels, all that good stuff. That stuff's up and running now. We're getting clips up in there. We're going to get more out for you. And then, of course, if you listen to this on Spotify, your Apple podcast listening, whatever your podcast listening of choice is, you can catch us there. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and we're going to segue out of here. Guys, this has been Good Friends, Good Games. And as always, we love having you here, and we'll talk to you soon. There's no buys from anybody this time. They just waved. They're just waves this episode. All right.
Bye.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
We're out of here. See you guys.